men's national team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've come a long way since. But,
yeah, for sure.
But the Fever, I mean, they played, I think they had a match at Oracle earlier in the World Cup, and then they played at Levi's. I don't remember who was playing at Levi's, but people were geared up. It's wild. Obviously, everywhere I went, there was some big screen with people watching, and I'm talking any match that was available, people were watching. It didn't matter, and because U.S. being who we are, we have people from all over the planet here.
Sure.
So there's going to be some faction of people from some country that live in, and especially a city like San Francisco. Like people are going to be invested. So yeah, I've been watching it. I've been deep into it. I absolutely love it. Soccer was actually my first sport as a kid, being half Nigerian. That was the first ball that I ever kicked around, was a soccer ball. But eventually I traded that out for a basketball, baseball, and football pretty quickly, of course.
It's a great entry-level sport for kids.
It is, because anybody can do it.
Yes. Two things about the World Cup. I fall in love with this game every time there's a World Cup or like the U.S. women or whatever the case may be. And then it kind of ebbs. But this time, I'm watching it a lot because all the games are on. The first thing is how important defense is. It might be the most defensive dominant game that there is. I mean, it's all about defense, hence the low score. Second thing, I think I figured out the flop. I think everybody's in on it. It gives everybody a chance to breathe for a minute and stop running, and. Right?
I mean, that's probably the only downside of the sport, is that there are, part-time actors that are in it, but it's fine. We've got to take it. We got to take all that comes with it. Like sometimes when I get a Bloody Mary, I'm not really into Bloody Marys, but every once in a while I get one and they put all that pickled stuff on it. I don't want that either.
No.
I just get rid of that. Yeah. But and they get carried away with those Bloody Marys, by the way. They do. All that meat and stuff, they need to cut that out. But I digress. My point ultimately is that the nationalism, and I don't mean the nationalism in the negative way, right? The crazy nationalism. I mean just the pride, but also how people show up and show out for their countries, and also the countries that they live in. And, in my case, I cheer for Ireland, I cheer for Nigeria, I cheer for the U.S., and indirectly, I cheer for Mexico and Canada too when they play, because they're our neighbors, and I care about their success as long as they're not playing us. Yeah. And so there's a fanaticism, a buy-in, an experience. The Europeans come here. There's a bunch of stuff on YouTube, Instagram, and X talking about how large our food portion sizes are, and how great our people are treating Popeyes like it is gourmet food online. I love it. I'm like, guys, there's better chicken than Popeyes. Y'all just don't know.
Well, they're just reinforcing what we already knew, especially when the Brits come over here, because if you've ever been to England, that's the worst food in the world.
And remember, I played for the London Monarchs.
Yeah, so
And I have family. I have Nigerian family and I have Irish family still in London. So the food has gotten better there, by the way, Bruce. I don't know when the last time you went to the UK, but it's gotten better.
Okay. I'll take your word.
Yeah.
Orioles back in action after a day off, and a day off they sorely needed. That was a bad homestand. There's no other way to put it. Just a bad homestand. They resume tonight in Cincinnati. And Femi, we've both been to Cincinnati, but I can't imagine much better place to spend 4th of July in a baseball town like that,
Yeah, I mean, look, you're being serious, right? That you like Cincinnati? Okay, cool.
No, I was making sure. Really. I didn't like it, no.
Okay,
but it's a great baseball town, and they're on the 4th of July.
No, I give Cincinnati nothing. I hate that city. Look, I hate that city. The fans there are absolute, know what?
They are.
I've been in that stadium. I've watched how they treat Ravens fans. I've worked games, and I've been dressed all in black. I didn't have a Ravens thing on because I just didn't want to get into a fight, because I'm not that person who's going to walk away. I just know how I am. Maybe now, maybe I'd be better at that, Bruce. Maybe I would walk away.
As you get older.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just less interested in that. But I think that the crying and the whining over Joe Burrow and how he's mistreated. Joe Burrow is ranked top 3 in almost every category, and the dude's been hurt more than anybody. Yeah. I love Joe Burrow, and Lamar misses some games, never had a major surgery, and they're dropping him to like 8, 9, or 10 in some of these rankings. I know we're talking about baseball, but it just pisses me off, dude. Anyway, back to baseball. I think that the problem I have with the O's right now is that I absolutely loved what I saw when they lost that game to the Dodgers. And you can correct me if I'm wrong here. This is off the top of the head. 6-5 to the Dodgers in a game they could have won. Yeah. Then they win like 3-2, and then they blow them out 12-2, hit like 4 or 5 bombs.
That
I'm like, okay. They
go
go and beat the Angels. I'm like, man, this is a pretty good West Coast trip. And I'm like, they're about to do some stuff now. Now, this is the part where I keep saying they need to go 15 out of 20. That's what they need to do. They need that. They'll be right back in it. And then they lose 6 out of 7, and the wheels fall off.
Inexplicably.
And this is what it comes down to, Bruce. They're that really nice puzzle on the box that when you look at it, you go, wow, look at that puzzle. Look at that, the mountain ranges and the ocean and all these things. I'm gonna drop this puzzle on the table. I'm gonna fit these pieces together, and I'm gonna have this amazing puzzle. But the pieces don't quite fit.
No.
The pieces in the box don't quite fit together snugly. And so you look at, like, this is some of the stuff that I just can't understand. The number of runners they leave in scoring position is mind-boggling. The way they move runners across the bases is mind-boggling. The batting average with no outs and runners on base is mind-boggling. The number of runs they give up with 2 outs is mind-boggling. The timely defense is also mind-boggling. And I understand now why O's fans feel the way that they do. I haven't been touched by the negativity yet. I'm just telling you what I see. Yeah. And I understand. I empathize. Do I think Mike Elias, no one's trying to lose. No, you know what I mean? And I know that people are calling for Mike Elias' job. You know I'm never going to do that. That's not what I do. But I kind of understand it. Mike Elias seems like a great guy. And he also made the point that, like, hey, we're all in. You know, if as long as things don't change, and they're changing quite a bit in real time, that we're going to be buyers at the trade deadline. I don't know what you think, but is that still likely at this point?
He's got to be careful what he says, first of all, because he's got to measure every word. And I was a little bit surprised that he said that, because if they're going to be buying that, Rose, the owner has money. We know that. But what are you going to go after? I mean, what is it that you need? You know, do you need a starting center fielder? You know, and what are you willing to give up? You know, do you need another starter? I don't think they do now that Kramer's back. I think their starting pitching's in pretty good shape, you know. And then, you know, you got at least 2 guys in AAA that can come up if there's some injury. So I wouldn't go after starters. You go for a bullpen piece. That's probably what you need worse than anything, you know?
Yeah. I think a bullpen piece and another guy that fits in the lineup. I think you need a guy.
A center fielder, maybe.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, I think you need, like, this is the thing. I love Blaze Alexander. I want him to play every day. I do.
It looks like he's going to.
Exactly. And I think I've been saying this for a while. Blaze and Brandon Young are my guys. I've been backing them. Maybe I just got lucky and I saw something early on and I just believed in it. And I think Blaze was with Arizona last year, correct? Yeah. So I got to see him play before.
And he was a glove guy who didn't offer you much with the bat. That was the book on him when they got him.
Yeah. Look at him now.
He got here and turned into a hitter.
Yeah.
So he's earned a starting spot.
Yeah, he's a young player, isn't he? I mean, you know, he should evolve. Hopefully, you would hope that.
And
he would
the loser in this is Kobe Mayo, who has lost a position now.
Yeah, I feel like, and I know Kobe's had some splash hits and some things, but the inconsistency. You know, I think I'm at a point now where I don't need the high ceiling guy. I need the guy that's not going to, where the floor isn't through the floor. You know what I mean? That's what we need. And so stringing things together, like, it just seems like on the margins, the small ball stuff, the timely stuff, and let's admit, let's just be honest. You create your own luck by doing the right things at the right time, and you manufacture things that lead to positive outcomes. This team just doesn't really seem to do that. And then you have the thing that's hanging over our head from a macro perspective, which you and I talked about numerous times, which is the strike potentially coming. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then you have Adley. What do you do with Adley? I'm not close enough to this to have an emotional attachment to anybody or anything. The question is that if you go into 2027 with the lockout pending, and then you have Adley, who is one of your more valuable pieces, and then you already gave Sam Basayo an 8-year deal, I believe it was, correct? I don't know what the strategy is. So I feel uncomfortable throwing stuff against the wall because, you know, that's not what I do.
I'm not real sure Basayo's an everyday catcher.
Really?
Just his body style, and he gets banged up, and I think he's probably more of a first baseman. And if you notice, he played a little first base this week. I don't think it was just out of necessity. I think they're trying to figure some stuff out here, you know, especially with the trade deadline coming up. We haven't had time to tell you about our show. Rich Dubroff's going to join us this hour, as he always does, from BaltimoreBaseball.com, and we'll continue the thread on the Orioles. And one thing I want to ask him is, who's going to the All-Star game? You know, they're going to announce it tonight, the starters. I mean, who on the Oriole roster deserves to go to the All-Star game? It's not that obvious to me. So we'll talk about that with Rich. And then through Femi's efforts, we finally got him. Former Ravens quarterback Chris Redmond is going to join us at 1 o'clock. Why should you be interested in that? Well, first year as a head coach, Louisville Kings. He wins the UFL championship, and he's got, count them, 4 ex-Ravens on his coaching staff. That's a pretty remarkable story. Everybody I've told that story to locally, they light up. Really?
Yeah.
You know?
We got a bunch of smart guys over there. You know that.
Yeah, well.
We were known for our intelligence, not our brute force.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, a brute. You had plenty of brute force.
Yeah, we
too.
We did.
The best thing is that all 5 of them, they get another ring out of this.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so proud of Chris. Chris and I were roommates. What an eclectic dude to live with. He probably thinks I'm eclectic too, by the way. But you know, Chris would get up and hunt. at like 5 in the morning, and he'd come back with deer meat and venison, right? Yeah. And he'd make venison chili, venison burgers, jerky, and I'd be like, bro, I'm not eating any of that. Like, not happening. And this is the thing.
You never had venison?
I've tried it, but I'm a picky eater, Bruce. Like, I eat like 12 things, and that's it. And I'm really good at making those 12 things in different ways. But the thing is, the things that I like, okay, I'm exaggerating. It's more than 12, but I love vegetables. I love all kinds of fruit. There's some grains and some complex carbs that I love to eat. And when it comes to protein, though, I eat beef, I eat chicken, I eat turkey. Bacon on my burger on occasion, a little pepperoni pizza. Okay,
but
cool.
You're not a pork guy.
No, I mean, I'm cool with it, but it's not. It's bottom of my list. It's more like a cheat day thing. Like I live on eggs, chicken, turkey, and beef. Like that's what I live on. And if I'm gonna have something that's outside of that, it's gonna be on a cheat day, and it better be darn good. And I'm not trying to experiment. I don't eat fish. I don't eat
you don't eat seafood at all?
No, I mean I eat shrimp. That's it.
You live in Baltimore.
No, it doesn't matter. I could live on Mars. I wouldn't matter. Like, it's funny when people tell me that. I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm happy. Like, if you can have all the fish, you can have my fish, you can have it all.
Okay.
You can have all the oysters, you can have all of it.
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
The bravest person that ever lived is the first person that decided to eat an oyster. Oh. But I love them.
I don't wonder, but why? They're cold. They're the texture, they don't smell good.
They got that ocean taste, man. Yeah, that's salt.
I mean, I can just give you salt water, brother.
It won't be the same. Oh. Oyster stuffing on Thanksgiving.
Oh, my God.
Got to try that. All right, hey, we're going to open the phones up. We don't have our regular Saturday bunch of loonies, so normally we got calls by now. We're going to open them up next segment. Give us a call, 410-583-1057.
Hi, it's Mike Popovic. No show this Saturday with the 4th of July holiday. However, I will be filling in this Friday from 3 until 6 after Bruce and Fetty. On the program, a message to Orioles manager Craig Albert has about why he might not be getting the warmest of welcomes this season from the fans and media, and it has nothing to do with this season. I'll explain. Also, how a lockout might be good for the Orioles. Audio from former Met Wally Backman in an interview on his sister Odyssey station this week with a spot-on message about hitting and analytics. Also, best summer sports trips from the past and where you might be headed this summer, your man cave improvements just in time for the fall, and plenty more. Talk to you Friday at 3 here on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
Hey, it's Vinny Serrato. Upgrade your home with top brands and flexible financing during Town Appliance's 4th of July shopping event going on now. Mayor and Mayor, they're going to take great care of you. Tell them Vinny sent you when you stop by the showroom, call, text, or visit townappliance.com today.
Surfside is a proud partner of the Baltimore Orioles. And there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer them on during the game. Surfside is only 100 calories and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. So it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside. Sold in stadium and at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-497-8091. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-497-8091. That's 800-497-8091. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Hot popcorn. Get your popcorn.
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, you need to hear this message. The IRS can take aggressive action by hitting you with penalties, interest, wage garnishments, and bank levies. Thousands of Americans thought there was no hope until they realized there is a free alternative thanks to the USA Tax Network. People who have owed $10,000, $20,000, even $30,000 or more are now reducing or even eliminating their tax debt after completing their free tax review. Go to notax33.com to request your free tax review and get connected with a tax resolution specialist. Explore options that may be available for your situation, including payment plan assistance, IRS negotiation support, tax resolution programs, and financial hardship solutions. Don't let the IRS take more of your hard-earned money. Save thousands and get connected with a tax resolution specialist to find out if you can reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. Go to notax33.com now to see if you may qualify. That's notax33.com. Paid advertisement. USA Tax Network is not a law firm, tax firm, or tax relief company. We do not provide tax advice or tax resolution services. We connect consumers with independent tax resolution providers.
Every week on the Moth Podcast, you'll hear true stories that will intrigue you, inspire you, and make you laugh.
He said, is there anything in your diet that might be spiking your blood sugar? I said, sometimes I eat pizza until I'm unconscious. He said, I think that might be it.
For real stories live on stage from comedians, astronauts, accountants, farmers, and people just like you, follow and listen to The Moth wherever you get your podcasts.
Weekends on The Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Welcome back, Bruce and Femi on a Friday. How about that? 410-583-1057 is the number to call. Phones are wide open, and I'm really happy to tell you that our first caller is a guy who came over here. When's the last time we were together? It's been like 2-3 weeks, right? Came over, and he talked about barbecue, and of course my ears perked up because, as I told you, Femi, I have a barbecue problem. Chef in Owings Mills brought us some barbecue, and that was some of the best damn barbecue I ever had in my life. What do you think?
Yeah, it was really good. I mean,
Chef, I was ready to open the windows and holler at people about you, man. That was some good stuff.
Hey, we're going to have to do that again sometime soon, man, before the summer, before it gets cold. You know what I mean?
Well, you twist my arm. And I'll tell you something else. And Femi, I didn't tell you this yet, and here's a selling point for Chef. When we were posing for pictures, some of the aluminum foil got barbecue sauce on the side of my shirt, and it was white. And I looked at his sauce washed out. So there you go.
It tells you.
Housewife approved, legit. Chef.
I'm good. I was calling, man. I wish you guys a happy 4th, and thank you for coming on today. And I don't know, I just felt very honored to do that. So it's just like I never thought I would do something for you guys.
Hey, there's something else you don't realize. I figured somebody else would say it, so I'll go ahead and say it. It's my birthday.
It's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Happy 21st.
Oh, happy birthday!
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Bruce. Happy birthday. Okay.
Yeah. Time rolls on, you know. But
hey, real quick, Chef.
Yes.
Brisket. You got brisket?
Yeah, I know how to do brisket. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was wondering. I think that's the thing I need to experiment with next, because the beef ribs check, the wings check. We got to test. We got to test the brisket out.
Those beef ribs. I was ready to go steady with those beef ribs. That's how good those ribs are.
So the beef ribs is like a quicker version of brisket. You know what I mean? Has the same like flavor profile.
Oh man, that was good. Well, what's on your mind? You just called up to talk food. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, we can talk food. We can talk soul music. Doesn't matter. You know how we do. But no, man, I'm just calling. I'm just excited. Femi always gets me excited about football and hearing them on different podcasts. So really excited about the Ravens this year. Bruce, I'm not trying to kick the dead horse, but it's just the O's aren't really relevant in my generation, unfortunately. But we got to get through it, man. But at least Chef, we got World Cup soccer.
I was just about to ask you, have you been watching the World Cup? Who are you excited about? Team USA looks amazing. Any other countries you've been watching? Anybody reeled you in?
I kind of like the story with USA because of the ties to Baltimore with Antonio Freeman's son. So I kind of like the root for that. But Femi and Bruce, well, we're all cool here. I've kind of been pulling for Cape Verde.
Okay.
Because
they play today, don't they? They play today, right?
They play today, but Femi and Bruce, we're guys. It's not the team. it's on social media seeing the women from there.
Oh, I got you.
That's what makes me pull for them.
All right, Chef. Good to hear from you.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one. There you go. There's old Chef. Let's go to Wayne in Falston. Wayne, what's on your mind?
Hi, Bruce.
Hey.
Love you dearly.
Thank you.
I was going to ask, why don't the Orioles ask Cal Ripken Jr. to be their manager?
I don't think
he'd be a great manager.
I don't think he wants to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a 28-hour lose your hair, get ulcers kind of job, you know? And he's way along in life. He's made his money.
And he's like in some capacity as a consultant. I mean,
he's a roving instructor in the minor leagues.
I said consultant, but I guess that's probably the best way to put it.
And the other thing, too, Wayne, to think about is when you start making legends managers, you know what happens at the other end of that? They're harder to fire if you have to. You remember the Packers when they hired Bart Starr?
Yeah.
He got like 3 or 4 extra years out of that. So I don't know. But my first answer to you, Wayne, my main answer is I don't think he'd want the aggravation, you know?
I gotcha. Femi, I know you meet a lot of people, but I got to say this. I met a lot of famous athletes before, and I met Femi, I know you don't remember this, at Morton Steakhouse the night of the Monday night game. It was the coldest game I ever went to against the Washington Redskins at the time. And Femi was at Morton's, and he was such a neat guy.
He always is.
He sat there, he talked with us, he showed us his Super Bowl ring. Yeah, I mean, I hate when these athletes are stuck up and they don't have time for you.
Hey, what year was this?
Oh, I can't remember.
Okay, so it was a while back.
Back a ways,
okay,
yeah.
Okay, all right.
That place has been closed a while.
You weren't playing that.
Yeah, no, but I go to Morton's every now and again. Morton's is still open, I think. The one by the stadium. Yeah, by the
Fleming's
stadium.
is the one that closed.
Fleming's is closed. Yeah.
All right, great to hear from you, Wayne. Appreciate it. Let's go to Steve in Pasadena. Steve, what's going on?
Hey, how you guys doing, man? Happy 4th, man.
Hey, what's up, Steve? What's up, brother?
Thank God you guys are on the air because those other guys from Westwood, that was a hard listen to the last couple hours.
We appreciate it.
I've been listening to you guys for a long time, man. But I just want to get to the Orioles. Hey, look, I wish people would stop talking about. It seems like they're always talking about get rid of Adley and trade him and all this. I know one thing. I don't think he's going anywhere because they better keep that guy because he's a real necessity to this club because I think they're going to turn it around, man. So I hope you guys have a good 4th and talk to y'all later.
All right, Wayne.
I like the optimism. I think that's a good thing.
I do too.
And I hope they keep Adley too, for the sake of the fans, because so many fans don't want to see him go anywhere.
I know.
I'm speaking about different potential outcomes. So I hope no one mistakes my sharing of potential scenarios with the idea that I believe that that's what they should do. It's just I know it's on the table.
Rich Dubroff last week told me on this show that the fan base here won't accept another rebuild. So we'll get into that with Rich coming up too. But first, Antonio in Rosedale, what's going on, man?
Hi, Bruce. How are you?
I'm doing well. Say hello to Femi.
Hi, Femi. How are you?
Hey, Antonio. How you doing?
Good. Happy birthday, Bruce.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome. Happy 4th of July, guys.
Thank you for that, too.
Thanks, Antonio. Appreciate that. You too.
Will the Orioles trade any of their top players before the trade deadline? And you guys have a wonderful 4th of July.
Thank you, Antonio. The short answer to that, no.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't. If they're going to be buyers, and he said they're going to be buyers, then they sort of own that. So,
I think there's maybe a Venn diagram of overlap where if you trade some players, it's because you think that there's equal, maybe like 2 guys are of equal talent, but one's a better fit for what you're trying to do going forward. I think that's a potential scenario. Yeah. But if they're truly going to try to contend and they're all in, then you don't trade good talent for future potential talent and try to be a wild card team. That doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
Coming up next, Rich Dubroff, BaltimoreBaseball.com. We're going to get deep into this stuff. Stick around.
What happens next happens here. Baltimore Sports Radio.
That ball is out of here.
105.7 The Fan.
Hey, it's Vinny Serrato. Upgrade your home with top brands and flexible financing during Town Appliance's 4th of July shopping event going on now. Mayor and Mayor, they're going to take great care of you. Tell them Vinny sent you when you stop by the showroom, call, text, or visit townappliance.com today.
Alex B. and Zach came to the rescue when we lost our heat. The commercial I hear every day on my way to work is true. Amazing.
Greg did a great job.
Tony saved us tens of thousands of dollars because he was able to determine that our system's heat exchanger is fine.
Andre was over the top impressive, professional and diligent. He took his time to work the problem, not just diagnose a quick fix.
Zachary was able to remove and replace our AC system in what must
must have been record time. Amazing was amazing.
Anthony and Jamal were outstanding. The entire install completed in one day.
You can tell this company truly lives up to its name. Amazing. Their owner says he has the best people, and after this experience, I completely agree.
Those are snippets from 7 different Google reviews for amazing plumbing, heating, and air. And yes, I proudly claim to have the best techs, installers, and plumbers in Baltimore because I do. You can count on it at
CALLAMAZING. Go to callamazing.com.
Summer's here. Hey, it's Ed. That means longer days, cookouts, beach trips, and plenty of opportunities to keep your game at the top of its game. Whether you're looking to surprise somebody special or add a little bit of excitement to your summer lineup, Lions Den has you covered. From essentials to couples' favorites, Lions Den has everything you need to make this season a winner. So turn up the heat at Lions Den. Pleasure, passion, romance, multiple locations around Baltimore. But check them out at lionsden.com or walk into a store.
If you dread dealing with your insurance company more than you dread yard work, in 90-degree weather.
Wow, it is a scorcher out there today.
With a swarm of hungry mosquitoes buzzing around. Then you might have Insuranoia. And if you have Insuranoia, then you should get NJM. They go to great lengths to do what's best for their policyholders. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM.
We're at a 2-2 stalemate into stoppage time. Next goal surely wins it. He sets up for the corner kick. Curls it in. He's up for the header. And score! Brilliant goal!
Soccer's biggest games are here. Get ready by heading over to Giant for all your matchday essentials. And let Upside set up the assist with a $10 cashback bonus on your first grocery purchase. Whether it's food for your watch party, dining out during match days, or the gas you need to get where you're going in time to catch kickoff, Upside has you covered to earn cash back on your everyday purchases.
Right now, get a $10 cashback bonus on your first grocery purchase at Giant. Download the free Upside app and use promo code CHARM06. That's promo code CHARM06 for a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code CHARM06.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Hey, we're all headed out to happy hour. You in?
Definitely, but I need to schedule a ride.
Before you drink, designate a sober driver or plan for a rideshare and make sure everyone gets home safely. You could save your life, those in your car, and others on the road. Be the Make a Plan driver. Be the driver who saves lives. Go to zerodeathsmd.gov. This message is brought to you by the Maryland Department of Transportation.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code BOOST to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code BOOST to borrow up to $10,000. Use code BOOST to borrow up to $10,000.
There are 2,520 hours between Memorial Day and Labor Day. Use one of them to donate blood and help save lives. Be a hero to a patient in need. Make an appointment to donate at redcrossblood.org or by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Welcome back, Bruce and Femi on a Friday. No show tomorrow, by the way. Don't tune in looking for us at noon tomorrow. This is tomorrow's show. We're just doing it today. Confused, so am I, but let's keep moving. Joining us now, our pal from BaltimoreBaseball.com. It's Rich Dubroff. Rich, how you doing?
Bruce, I'm not doing as well as you are because it's not my birthday today.
I know. Thank you. You're a little bit older than me, but I'm getting that number's getting frighteningly large. Let me just say that.
Well, I'm glad it is, because I wouldn't want it to.
It's taking a dark turn, Rich. Yeah, it's taking a dark turn. Hey, I loved your piece today. You compared the Orioles right now with the Cleveland Guardians last year, 40 and 48. Just like the Orioles are, but then they caught fire in the second half, ended up making the playoffs. And the common denominator, Craig Albernaz. Rich, that was a great piece of writing right there.
Well, thank you. But also, the year before that, the Detroit Tigers were 40 and 48 and went on a tear. But that's not to say obviously that the Orioles have it in them to do that. But that's what they need. That's what they need to do if they're going to play in play in October, because the last week or so has certainly not been very good for them.
No.
And they have to get started now. I mean, they have between now and the trading deadline on August, a month from now, to make the season. And if they don't make the season, in order to get to 500 by the trading deadline, they have to go 16-8. So they have to get something. They have to get somewhere close to that, in order to make themselves competitive.
Ordinarily, I'd say, man, that's a tall hill to climb. But when you look at the way Orioles are losing the games, it's hard to predict anything.
Yeah, it is. Because you look at it, you think, well, gee, they do have a lot. They do have a lot of talent. Here, the talent isn't performing up to standards, but there is. A fair amount of talent here. The starting pitching has been pretty good for the last month or so. But the play on the field, the defense has been the defense has been horrible. The lack of fundamental play has been disappointing, to say the least. But I think they have it in. I think they have it in them to improve. But time's getting short.
Yep.
Hey, Rich. So I was really encouraged when they, had that West Coast trip. I think they lose to the Dodgers 3-2. Then they win, I think 6-5. And then they have that day where they win 12-2. They hit 4 bombs, and then they go to the Angels Stadium. They beat the Angels. They win 3 in a row, and then they proceed to lose, 6 out of 7. And I think Mike Elias said that, he thinks that they're going to be buyers at the trade deadline. What do you think of the statement? Where are you on this? And what would you do as GM at this point if you're inclined to share that insight with us?
Well, sure. But he said that he was planning. He said he was planning on being a buyer, but then they lost 4 in a row. And then now they're 8 games below 500. If they're 8 games below 500 or worse than that, or 6 games below 500, I don't see him. I don't see him being a buyer. But I don't know what there is. I don't know that selling is really going to help them
right
now. Last year they conducted a massive sell-off. And it helped them a bit, because it helped them, a little bit, because they used some of the pieces that they got to get Blaze Alexander, but and also they used one of the draft choices they got to help get Shane Baz, and then that's important. But it's not like the top of the farm system is full of really good prospects.
Right.
Most of these prospects that they got last year are not at AAA. A couple of them are, but most of them are at Frederick or Chesapeake. So I think wanting to sell is it doesn't sound it may not sound as great as you think, because I don't know what they're going to get back. Let's say they traded Trevor Rogers and Taylor Ward.
You hear Ward a lot, yeah,
and Kittredge. I think for Trevor Rogers, getting 2 months of Trevor Rogers is okay, but I don't think they're going to get, a whole lot. I don't think they're going to get a whole lot. So, I think that they're not I think they're not in great shape. I think that, even keeping Rodgers and Ward and then either trying to sign them or, offering them a qualifying offer might not be the worst thing, because they may end up signing back with the Orioles, accepting that qualifying offer and signing with the Orioles for next year. What's happened is the Orioles are in a really, really tough spot here, because there's enough talent that you think, oh, gee, they should be better, but you don't want to rip it all apart and start all over. Fans aren't going to stand for another rebuild.
Yep.
We had it wasn't all that long ago, and the rebuild was. But on the other hand, people are disappointed with this team, and rightfully so. They thought that they were going to get several years of really, really good baseball, and they got a couple of years of really good baseball and some really disappointing ones.
Yeah, it's a strange game. Let me ask you this: All-Star rosters announced tonight. I believe it's 7:00. Do the Orioles
tomorrow night?
It's tomorrow. I keep thinking it's Saturday. Yeah. It's tomorrow night. Who goes from the Orioles? We were sitting there discussing it. I can't think of an obvious guy. Alonso? I don't know.
Yeah, I would think probably Alonso, just because they have to have somebody.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of good first basemen. I mean, they could put him in as a DH. Rutschman looked as if he was gonna. He could have done that before he was. Before the concussion, but there are three really good catchers. There are a couple of good catchers ahead of him. So I would say Alonso 1 and Rutschman 2. I would be surprised if it was anyone other than those guys.
No one else is playing to an all-star level right now,
Yeah. No, but still, every team has to have one.
Yeah.
But Alonso's playing fine.
He's worth the money. He was a good acquisition. He's earning his money.
Yeah, but it's just that there are a lot of good first basemen out there.
Yeah, so what's interesting to me is, as I listen to all the different podcasters, guys I like to listen to, Ryan Ripken and all their guests, the guests that he has on his show, I'm trying to decipher. It's when things aren't going well, there's a lot of blame to split around, right? And I think I try to make it a point, Rich, as a former athlete, right? And I try to be more on the analyst side, but obviously when things aren't going well, we have to figure out kind of like what are the solutions to the problems, right? Is it player driven? Is it GM driven? Is it coach driven? Or in this case, manager driven? How would you assign responsibility? Once again, not blaming, not pointing fingers, not being hyperbolic and pejorative for the sake of being pejorative, but just an honest assessment. How do we dissect or break up responsibility in this situation?
I think all of them. Wow. I think everybody's. Yeah. I think everybody's at fault here. I think Elias. And I've said this many times over the years. He hasn't drafted particularly well after his first draft. He's refused to draft pitchers in high rounds, and I think that's come back to hurt them. I think that the manager can be faulted for the lack of fundamentals, not getting players to listen. I mean, and certainly the players get a huge amount for not performing, for not playing fundamentally well, or not hitting well. So I think that there's plenty of sometimes it's really obvious what's gone wrong, and in a case like this, it's not. It's not easy. Say.
Yeah, I agree 100%, Rich.
Sometimes in franchises, it's like, okay, a franchise you played for, they decided, well, they had a very unusual firing, getting rid of Harbaugh. because, well, the team, they just decided, well, the team had gotten stale. And that wasn't, was it Harbaugh's fault, or was he there just too long? So it's really hard. And also what's happened, a lot of people, I read my stuff from, my Facebook, the BaltimoreBaseball.com Facebook, and I read, my emails and the tweets, and, the fans there overwhelmingly want to blame Mike Elias.
Yeah.
And I get, that. But again, it's hard because we may have a labor situation here.
Yep.
And in order to rebuild the club, to go and fire somebody and bring somebody else in, that's putting them at a disadvantage for building a team next year. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, Rich, you know what? The way that you're answering this question is exactly why I asked it.
See?
Because it's very difficult.
Nobody knows.
No, and that's the thing. Because a lot of times, like Rich, you're right. I do think that there's obvious, like you're like that. This person is clearly not performing. This decision and this situation was terrible. Why this person was drafted or this person was acquired? Why, when those things are obvious, then we all look like all-star GMs or bench coaches or or managers or players at that point.
Yeah, because, okay, let's take something. Oh, well, if somebody says, well, Elias stinks. Well, I can point to some, he got Blaze Alexander, who saved, who's helped them a lot. He's also hurt them a lot.
He got Tavares.
With poor fundamental play. He got Tavares. Everybody said, oh, the Orioles won't spend money. Well, most of the players that they got in the offseason have really helped them.
Yeah.
Now we don't know what's going to happen with Ryan Helsley. That could be, that could be something very serious.
Whenever pitcher and elbow are in the same sentence, Rich, it's bad.
So much.
It could be, and we all know where that could lead. But he didn't do a bad job last offseason. Some of the off seasons and some of the drafts, were not very good. So again, I don't know. I mean, if you left it to the fans, they'd go fire him. Well, they fire everybody.
We can't do that. Everybody get fired.
They fire everybody.
Well, if you don't win a World Series or a Super Bowl, everyone's getting fired. You know that.
Everybody.
Yeah.
All right, Rich.
So I don't know. I mean, it's like last week I asked Elias, well, what does he think? What does he think? What's a successful season for him?
Yeah.
Right now, what's a successful season? Is it just getting into the playoffs? So I don't know. It's really hard, and I know we have a lot more weeks to talk about this.
Yeah, and it's hot out.
Yeah.
Rich, thanks for your time
Rich.
as always.
Appreciate it, Rich.
Okay, thank you. Femi, when's your birthday?
March 5th.
Okay, well, remind me ahead of time.
Yeah, we will.
I got you.
No problem. Thanks, Rich.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
Rich brings up something that I want to talk to you about when we come back.
Yeah.
We might go to the phones too, but
and remind me to talk about the fans too, because I want to make sure I nuance this.
That's what I want to talk about too. So
Right,
we're going to hit that next. If you want to call, it's a good time. 410-583-1057.
Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. Inside Access. Live on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Search Baltimore 1057 The Fan. Subscribe for daily shorts right to your phone and never miss what you missed. 1057 The Fan.
Hey, it's Ken Weinman. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game. Because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Again, that's FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 1057 The Fan. 21 plus and present in Maryland. Please play responsibly. For help, visit them at mdgamblinghelp.org or make sure to give them a call at 1-800-GAMBLER. Again, that phone number, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now, the Bay Bridge Spokesbirds.
Otis, that lady just called us Bay Bridge Spokesbirds, but we're also the Bay Bridge Experts.
Experts? We're the Spokesbirds, Spike.
We're also the experts, the Red Experts. It's simple. Don't drive in a lane with a red X. Only drive in lanes with a green arrow.
Can't argue with that.
Hatch your plan for smooth travel when crossing the bay at baybridge.com. Get traffic info and live cameras all in one spot.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
David is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
Nice to meet you. My name is David. I've been a pharmacist for 44 years, and I'm from Flowery Branch, Georgia. When I first started taking Prevagen, I noticed stuff just seemed to come together and fit like a jigsaw puzzle. When I have customers come in, I recommend Prevagen. Number one, because it's safe and effective, does not require a prescription. And I've been taking it quite a while myself, and I know it works. I wouldn't recommend something like Prevagen if I didn't think it was worth it because it works so good for me. And I love it when the customers come back in and tell me, David, that really worked so good. Makes my day.
Prevagen, at stores everywhere without a prescription. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Bruce and Femi show on a Friday. Phones are open, 410-583-1057. We'd love to talk to you. Before we hit the phones, though, we touched upon something just before the break. One of my pet peeves, and I'm hearing it a lot with Mike Elias right now. Well, he's got to be fired. It's punitive. A lot of fans want to fire somebody, or a GM or a manager or a coach or whatever, for punitive reasons, and that's not a reason to fire a coach or a general manager. It just isn't.
Yeah. I try to be really graceful because, I always talk about how I wear 3 hats. Yeah. I'm an NFL analyst. I'm a sports analyst, put it that way. I'm a sports analyst.
You are now?
Yeah, definitely now. I'm a fan, and I'm a former player.
Yeah.
And those hats are interchangeable, and I try to make sure I wear the right hat depending on the circumstance and the question at hand. And when I listen to fans complain about, like, EDC is a victim of his own success. And when you compare him to other GMs, he's a top 3, top 5 GM. That this is factual based on the Ravens' performances. Look, I'm not saying that we've won enough Super Bowls in the Lamar Jackson era. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we've won enough AFC North titles, but we win titles in Super Bowls. Do you know how many franchises don't win anything? Yeah. Go be a fan for them for a week. Go see what that feels like. That's what I tell people.
Browns never even been.
You know what? And offline, I was telling you all the different. I was rattling them off, but I'm not going to offend anybody today. It's 4th of July. I'm not going to offend anybody today. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to talk you off the ledge. I'm not going to push you over the ledge.
I've done this show on the 4th before, and I remember one year we had live commentary to Joey Chestnut because that's what everybody does.
Joey Chestnut, the dude that eats the hot dogs.
Yeah, that's every 4th of July.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So we took it live. It was great.
Yeah, the hot dog thing. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Oh, man. No. Anyway, Italian sausages with peppers, yes, but just hot dogs, no. We're good.
Remind me to tell you a line that John Miller had about that. But go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So the thing that I like to do, Bruce, and I like to make things. I always like to use data to make a point, right? And so I compare GMing to trying to, to a Major League Baseball player's batting average.
Yeah.
If you're hitting 300, you're doing pretty good.
Right.
People think it's shooting free throws from a free throw line where, they want 85%. Like, we're an NBA player shooting free throws. It's not that easy.
Right.
And so I like to look at data for context. Now, this is the part where I side with the fan. This is where I put my fan hat on. We don't care why you're not winning. We just want you to win. We don't care what the reasons are. And as a paying customer, we have a right to feel that way. It doesn't mean that we're rational, because we don't need to be. And we can feel however we want to feel when things aren't going well. And when things aren't going well, we're probably, as a fan, not going to get why they're not going well, right? But they're not going well.
Right.
And so that's where I have grace with fans, because I understand their frustration. And that frustration can be buckshot. And that buckshot leads to collateral damage. And that collateral damage leads to people not feeling so good. So I understand that. And I try to have patience with that.
The fans are voting with their dollars right now.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of empty seats this week at Camden Yards.
Yeah.
And you hate
that's
to
always
see that.
that's the number one, right? That's the number one way to protest, isn't it?
And they're doing it.
Yeah.
They're doing
It's
it.
either to protest really loudly or to protest in silence. And you know what? There's a lot to be said with silence.
Silence will never lead you wrong. That's for sure. 410-583-1057. Rashawn, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
How you doing?
Rashawn, what's up, Rashawn? What's up, brother?
All right, man. Man, long time no speak. I ain't calling in a couple weeks, man.
Yeah. Well, we've been gone for a couple weeks too, man. So you haven't missed us.
Oh, okay. So I guess I want to talk about these, right? So I guess no matter what's going on, we're going to be buyers at the trade deadline, because, like people saying, if we sellers, then it's going to be saying, Mike Elias just giving up, and with his job might be on the line. Why would he, go that route? Go through, So what do y'all think about that? And also, would you, even if we still like maybe 2 games, 3 games out of the wild card during the trade deadline, is it smart to still shop Trevor Rogers? Because I don't think we're going to sign him.
Sean,
give him all
I know where you're going with this. I'm going to answer a question really simply. I think you answer the phone no matter who's calling. I think you're talking to a lot of people between now and then.
Yeah, because if you can swindle somebody for him, because I just don't. I don't want to pay. I'm not fully like trusting Rogers right now, and then especially with the type of contract he's going to demand.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody's going to pay him.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's definitely going to pay him. So I'd rather just get what we can get from him, get some prospects, and I like I said, I don't want to rebuild. Like I said, it was going to be a retool. Like a couple years ago, my mom was supposed to be retooling and everything, and that's when we who we traded for that year, the trade deadline. We probably retooling. Was it the pitcher from Jack Flaherty?
Yeah. And he didn't work out at all. That was not at all. Not a good sign. Rashawn, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. 410-583-1057. William out in Baltimore County. What's going on?
Hi, Bruce and Sammy.
Hey.
I just want to make a few statements, then I'll hang up and listen to you guys. My thing is this. They have forgotten all about the Oriole way. You don't even hear about that anymore. But, and that's number one. Number two, fundamentals. I mean, I don't never remember a team being this, not an Oriole team, being this fundamentally incorrect in many, many years.
See, that's part of the Oriole way. That's part of the Oriole. That's another offshoot of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. And I remember when Orioles had I can remember when Doug DeCinces and Mark Belanger were here. As good as they were, if they had a day or so, a couple of days or some hours like that, you never hear them about coming out for early infield practice no more. I don't know. This team needs some early infield practice. I mean, you got guys running the first base. You got guys running the second base when they should be going to first base. You got guys throwing behind the mound when they should be throwing. That's just crazy.
It's been hard to watch. It really has. All right, William, thanks for the call.
Thank you.
He sounds like a lot of Oriole fans.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
he does.
Disbelief. It's just hard to understand what we're seeing right in front of our eyes.
I think Rashawn tapped into something that I was thinking about, and I mentioned this to you in between our commercial breaks. There is a lateral way where you're not a seller at the deadline, but maybe you trade for equal talent, a guy that you might think is a better fit. And if you don't want to pay Trevor, right? And look, if you have apprehension around that as of today, because I was all about. Remember, you and I had a show where we talked about should we pay him now, get him for a little bit less, and right now you're like maybe we made the right call by not doing that. I understand that.
If you watch baseball over the long term, or as you like say in a macro way, giving a lot of money to pitchers is foolish.
Yeah,
it never works out.
I mean, but you have to.
I know, but that's the tightrope you walk. But there's such an injury-prone position, and they cost so much money.
But you can't win without them, though.
No, you're right.
You know what I mean? Unless you draft them and then you have them for their first contract. But you already
and you pay for their first Tommy John.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's inevitable, right? I mean, look, we're in the era of power arms.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where we are, and it's expected at this point. It's not even unexpected. It's part of the deal. But guess what? They come back just as good. Yeah, okay. Their arms. I mean, with the surgeries, they're not losing velocity. Some come back going harder.
Okay, all right.
So
all right. That's hour number one. You think you had enough? No, you ain't had enough. Coming up at 1 o'clock, right after this break, we're going to talk with Femi's former teammate Chris Redmond, the newly crowned champion of the UFL. Stick around.
Wherever the Orioles season takes you.
Say goodbye to this ball.
Download the free Odyssey app and hear reactions to all the biggest moments. Download it today and search 105.7 The Fan.
Jerry's Home Services is the choice of Maryland homeowners for all their interior and exterior renovation needs. With an impeccable industry reputation, just ask Jerry's for a fast, free estimate by calling 410-766-6800 or visit jerryshomeservices.com.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
BetMGM Sportsbook is giving you the chance to win a prize every day during baseball season. Step into the batter's box for BetMGM Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Log in every day for your chance to win. Pick an area of the strike zone and take your swing. If you get a hit, you'll receive a prize. Smash a home run to collect a bonus bet. Just log into your BetMGM Sportsbook account and visit your promotion section to access the Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Swing for the Fences every day with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Maryland only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets expire in 7 days. Please play responsibly in partnership with MGM National Harbor.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Hello. Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
The newly renovated Hampton Inn Baltimore Downtown Convention Center is the place for everything Baltimore has to offer. Just off I-395, across from Oriole Park at Camden Yards, and steps from the Convention Center, Inner Harbor, and M&T Bank Stadium. Enjoy a free hot breakfast, indoor pool, and fitness center with the comfort and service you expect from Hilton. Need parking for the game? Hampton Inn offers a prime spot right across from the stadium, with parking managed by PMC for a smooth, stress-free experience. Call 410-685-5000 to book your stay or secure your spot today.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package,
T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Your home will sell guaranteed. Hire the Lee Tessier team with eXp Realty. If Lee can't find you a buyer, he'll buy it himself. LeeTessier.com.
If you're selling your home, don't make it hard. Just call Lee Tessier.
This is WJZ-FM, Catonsville, Baltimore's sports talk at 105.7 The Fan, and always live on the free Odyssey app. Weekends on The Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Welcome back, Bruce and Femi on a Friday. Happy 4th of July to everybody. I tell you somebody who had a happy spring, and that's a guy who was a member of the Ravens in 2000 when they went all the way to the Super Bowl and hoisted that Lombardi trophy and showed off his ring all over Louisville, and we're thrilled to have him. Chris Redmond, welcome to the Bruce and Femi Show.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
What's up, Red?
What's up, Fem Dog? You doing all right?
I'm doing good, brother. Happy you're on, man.
Now, I heard you guys were roommates, so let's keep it clean.
Oh, we'll keep it clean. We can't tell you all the stories. You know what I mean?
We can go there if you want, so it's up to you.
Well, I tell you what, Chris, the first thing I wanted to talk to you about is an obvious thing. You know, you had a lot of people here in Baltimore watching your playoff games, and there's a reason. It's because you had so many of your old teammates on your coaching staff. Was that something you set out to do?
You know, it kind of just worked its way out. You know, it initially started, we had a Super Bowl reunion last year against when we played the Steelers. And a couple guys were interested in coaching and stuff, and I didn't even know at that point that I was going to be a coach. I found out literally Christmas Eve that they had an opening. They said, "You're interested?" And I said, "Yeah, let's do it." And then a lot of it, too, we actually practice in Arlington, Texas. And so, you know, a couple, Tony Banks and Chris McAllister, who both ended up being coaches, they live there. So it makes it very easy for them to coach. And it's kind of a hard thing because it's springtime. You have to move away from your family for 4 or 5 months. And so it's a hard thing to find that right person or the right people to fill that coaching staff. And those guys lived there. We obviously had history, interested in me in coaching, and a lot of, you know, Chris is looking into some scouting things for the Ravens. So is Brad Jackson. So it just kind of fit. And, you know, next thing you know, and Jamie Sharper, you know, he was already in the UFL league coaching for another team. And so he was coaching linebackers and special teams. And so I got him away from there by being the, defensive coordinator. So timing just worked out. And the next thing you know it, we had a heck of a year. It was a little bit tougher of a start. But we finished on a strong note, and just really great to have that Baltimore, staff together. And the chemistry was, we just picked up right where we left off from the playing days, and we had a really good time this year.
And everybody gets another ring.
And we get another ring.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Chris, you know what's funny? I don't think I ever told you this, because when we catch up, we're talking about family and what's going on, but I played in the inaugural season of the UFL in 2009 for the California Redwoods with Denny Green. Yeah, so I was on that team. That was the last season I played. My knee was pretty much done at that point. That's like my 13th or 14th training camp at that point, dude. So it was time. But, man, I'm so proud of you, brother. I loved living with you. I loved having you as a roommate. We got along so well. We're so different on the surface, but there's a Venn diagram of overlap of things that we enjoy doing. You know what I mean? But,
no doubt.
So it was good to catch up with you when I saw you for our reunion and things like that. I'm wondering, in regard to some of these rules in the UFL, what do you think are the rules that would make the most sense for the NFL to bring over? I kind of like that 4-point is a 60-yard field goal. I like that a lot. Yeah. I do not want, but this is the thing. This is the part I don't like. And you tell me if I got this right or wrong. The idea that you would lose a point if you miss it, I don't like that part of it, but I do like a 4-point field goal.
Yeah, you don't lose a point if you miss
you don't?
it,
Okay, cool.
But you do give up, crazy field position.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're going for a long one. So it's like a give or take there. for the long field goal. But that was my first thing. I was gonna, when you mentioned that, the first thing I was gonna, and then right back at you, man. We had an incredible time in Baltimore, and I felt like we just really got along great. And man, that group, that 2000 group in Baltimore was a special group of guys, and you were, a big part of that. And just really appreciate you letting me tag along a lot of the stuff. But yeah, right back to the rules. The rules are they're fun. I think it's more oriented towards the offensive minded football and TV and scoring points, and so some people like that, some people don't. But I think the majority of the people like they have 1 foot in bounds, which you didn't think it's a big deal, but it ends up there's a lot more catches on the field because of it.
Oh yeah,
and so I think it's definitely geared towards the offensive side. So for me, I love the rules. I think the best moving to the NFL, I think the 4-point field goal has got to be looked at, because it's time for some changes in the NFL, I think. And this gives these guys an opportunity. Like I said, there's a give and take for taking a chance like that. And to win a game like on a 4-point field goal, to me, I think that's a great option. And even like our extra points we have, you can go from 2 on the 2, which you think is just a little punch in from the fullback, but it's not. I mean, it was honestly majority. I think the statistics show this year that from the 2 points, most people didn't go for it because they weren't getting it, and they thought it was just a shoe-in going from 2 yards out. But these guys, everybody gets paid on both sides of the ball, and it's 2 yards ends up being pretty tough. And you can actually go for 3 points as well if you go from the 5-yard line. So. And not many people did it unless they had to this year. So again, I think Mike Rapoli did an outstanding job of bringing some a little bit of uniqueness to football, which people want to see, and less punting and more scoring and opportunities like the long field goal. I think they're wins, and I think the NFL. That's kind of what this. Not to say we're the G League yet, but I think there's a lot of guys, all people that are football guys, typically watching these games, and I think there's a lot of things that they liked.
You're talking about the 4-pointer. 60-yard field goals aren't that rare anymore.
No,
and it might be the time, as you mentioned. Here's the thing I wanted to talk to you about, though. Your first experience as a pro coach. You'd done some coaching in high school. How much different was it taking that step up to the pro level?
Everybody asks me, like, man, you have no experience in this. You're either a leader or you're not. When your time is called, it's you either step up and you make calls and you do what's right. And I don't know. I just think I have that ability, and so it was honestly. I kind of picked up. Right, I was coaching some high school football, so I was around the football aspect. But my dad was a high school football coach for 40 years.
Legend.
So I was around the and he's a Hall of Fame high school football coach in the state of Kentucky. And so I was around that atmosphere, and there's a lot of motivation. You think of coaching as being just X's and O's. It's really not. It's people managing and problem solving, and those are the real things. And when it comes to building a franchise and building an organization, and there's just something's going to happen every day, bailing guys out of jail. I mean, I do it all. In my first year, I felt like I did everything, and so it's just it was an amazing year, and I kind of didn't realize how much I missed the game of football, the locker room, overcoming adversity, the accountability, all those things that come along with the great game of football, and just really had an incredible year. And we got hot. That's the thing. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Oh yeah.
In these leagues, and we got hot at the right time, and man, it was a lot of fun.
Hey, Chris, it's so interesting because I know you on such a personal level. To watch you on TV on the sideline and to see your personality come out, it's crazy. I'm like, I didn't see much of that when I knew Chris, and you're the leader. I mean, you're the CEO of the team, and so it's such an interesting dynamic to watch you operate and how engaged you were, and how watching you talk to the coaches and watching you talk to the players. And you know what? I had forgotten about the pedigree and your dad. Like I'd kind of forgotten all that, because when I saw you doing it, it just looked right. I was like, oh, okay, he knows what he looks great doing it. And so I was, because it's weird when you see people that on an intimate level, and then you see them kind of in a different environment, it makes you kind of think like, wow, okay, like this is pretty amazing. Let me ask you this question. I know I just want to give you compliments the whole time, brother. But when it comes to NFL front offices, when it comes to the EDCs of the world and coaches in the NFL, there were a ton of guys when I was in the UFL that were trying to make that transition into or back to the NFL. What do you realistically think from a percentage perspective? Do you think, 10% of the guys on your team, 20%, or maybe across the league, like honestly, and we don't got to say names here because that's not the right thing to do here. I believe there's always more bodies than there are seats available, but there are guys that always get the short end of the stick that for whatever reason, whatever situation they ended up in, they didn't get the right opportunity. How many guys do you think in the UFL, and maybe we can just talk about the Kings and your team, how many guys do you think will end up in the league, or how many guys should at least end up in training camp this year?
Well, I guess I could just kind of go off my own team. We've had 4 guys that signed since the last game, in our championship game that we played in. So
wow.
Then
awesome,
we got
man.
probably another 4 guys that's going to have a chance. And, our kicker, he was the special team player of the year.
Yeah. Tanner
we
Brown?
had a defensive line. Tanner Brown,
Yeah.
So he signed with the Saints, and he's got a legit chance. He's gonna definitely make it. There'll be a lot of guys, and making it back. Does that mean make the team? Does that make the practice squad? Nowadays the practice squad, you can play practice squad forever.
Yeah.
So these guys, I think a higher percentage guys are gonna have a chance to get in the practice squad. You know how football is injury wise, and things happen, and as long as you give yourself a chance and you're around there and you get a chance to showcase yourself, and UFL really gives you that starting point. And then once you get into a practice squad or whatever, it's a matter of time for receivers, and injuries happen, things happen, and gives as long as you got yourself a chance to get back on the NFL roster and get on that game day roster, it can definitely happen. But our kicker, I feel very strongly he's going to be kicking field goals for the Saints. And, he was out of football for a couple of years until this year. And so, for me, what a special opportunity that I can help a guy go out and potentially make millions of dollars that, he honestly told me, he's like, hey man, you're one of the best coaches I've ever played for. And like, to me, I just kind of looked at the game as like, how would I want to be coached? And that's the way I coach. And like, there's a lot of, I've been around a lot of great coaches and a lot of not so great coaches. I'll be honest, I've learned more what I don't want to do with some of the coaches.
We know that. As former players, we know that.
And so, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But we're I'm going to walk down the hallway and I'm going to give you a dap and tell you, hey, how you doing and how's your family? I try to be a little bit more personable, I guess. And a lot of people look at it as a business and you can't get too close to these guys. And I don't know. I just don't feel like I feel like that. Coaching is. It's special. It's a special opportunity, and you have a chance to help someone get back to the NFL or help them in their career or be a part of their life. I think that, to me, that's special. And I'm not going to walk down a hallway and not say hi to like what happened to me and some of my professional playing days. I want to, and like I said, I've tried to make it a partnership and not a dictatorship. I think that's the key to success in the professional world.
Well, Femi confirmed that he can't eat venison. I
used to tell him about how you'd get up at 5:30 and go hunt, and then you try to get me to eat that chili and those burgers and that jerky. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not doing
Chris,
that.
I love venison. You don't have to sell me, man.
Well, Chris, you remember how picky I was? Chris, you remember me cooking, right? I'd be up in there cooking, and you'd be like, hey, we're gonna. I'm like, no, dude, I'm not eating that, bro.
Hey, well, we're all just thrilled for you here in Baltimore. I'm telling you. And as I said, during the playoffs, once the word got out that you had a lot of eyeballs in this town, and it just goes to show you how loyal these fans are. It's been 25 years since you were on that Super Bowl team, and they still have great interest in you and your assistant coaches.
Yeah, that makes me feel so good. And like Baltimore is such a tight-knit community, and some place that I'll never forget. Matt Little does an incredible job of getting the guys together there for the Ravens, and what he does to try to keep everybody involved and doing extra things and helping them, post-football career. And I think that's special. It's a special place, a special town, and I love the people of Baltimore, and I love that community, and I love that team. And Femi was a big part of it and a big part of my life. I just really appreciate all you guys, and I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, man, I love you, brother. You're my brother forever, no matter what happens. You already know that, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, me and you are tight. Doesn't matter.
Watch out, you're going to be coaching. If you don't
I was going to tell you, look, if you need a consultant, you need somebody to come in a little bit, holler at your boy. We'll talk about that on the side, though. You know I got you.
All right, Chris Redmond, thanks
right,
very much for your time. We appreciate it. Man, that turned out even better than I hoped.
Chris isn't, that's my boy.
He was, you know what, I didn't get a chance to ask him, though. We're so far over now, I probably should. About the practical jokes the quarterback room had going on that entire Super Bowl. Man, that was hilarious. All right, we're going to get into all that. We may open the phones back up. I don't know. Give us a call, 410-583-1057.
Hi, it's Mike Popovic. No show this Saturday with the 4th of July holiday. However, I will be filling in this Friday from 3 until 6 after Bruce and Femi. On the program, a message to Orioles manager Craig Albert has about why he might not be getting the warmest of welcomes this season from the fans and media, and it has nothing to do with this season. I'll explain. Also, how a lockout might be good for the Orioles. Audio from former Met Wally Backman in an interview on his sister Odyssey station this week with a spot-on message about hitting and analytics. Also, best summer sports trips from the past and where you might be headed this summer, your man cave improvements just in time for the fall, and plenty more. Talk to you Friday at 3 here on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
Hey, it's Vinny Serrato. Upgrade your home with top brands and flexible financing during Town Appliance's 4th of July shopping event going on now. Mayor and Mayor, they're going to take great care of you. Tell them Vinny sent you when you stop by the showroom, call, text, or visit townappliance.com today.
Football training camp is here. Make Green Valley Marketplace your grilling headquarters for every backyard kickoff. Our expert on-site butchers have the premium steaks, burgers, and ribs you crave. Enjoy our kitchen-fresh store-made deli salads, fried chicken, party subs, and famous steamed crabs. Visit our award-winning scratch-baked desserts from Lauer's Bakery. And now save even more with Valley Values. That's reduced everyday pricing on thousands of your favorite products. Visit greenvalleymarketplace.com today.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GO to borrow up to $10,000.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, you need to hear this message. The IRS can take aggressive action by hitting you with penalties, interest, wage garnishments, and bank levies. Thousands of Americans thought there was no hope until they realized there is a free alternative thanks to the USA Tax Network. People who have owed $10,000, $20,000, even $30,000 or more are now reducing or even eliminating their tax debt after completing their free tax review. Go to notax33.com to request your free tax review and get connected with a tax resolution specialist. Explore options that may be available for your situation, including payment plan assistance, IRS negotiation support, tax resolution programs, and financial hardship solutions. Don't let the IRS take more of your hard-earned money. Save thousands and get connected with a tax resolution specialist to find out if you can reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. Go to notax33.com now to see if you may qualify. That's notax33.com. Paid advertisement. USA Tax Network is not a law firm, tax firm, or tax relief company. We do not provide tax advice or tax resolution services. We connect consumers with independent tax resolution providers.
Hey, we're all headed out to happy hour. You in?
Definitely, but I need to schedule a ride.
Before you drink, designate a sober driver or plan for a rideshare and make sure everyone gets home safely. You could save your life, those in your car, and others on the road. Be the Make a Plan driver. Be the driver who saves lives. Go to zerodeathsmd.gov. This message is brought to you by the Maryland Department of Transportation.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Welcome back, Bruce and Femi on a Friday. Want to remind you, Mike Popovic's in here after us at 3 o'clock. He'll take you up to 6 o'clock, and we will have no local programming tomorrow. We're getting a holiday tomorrow. I'm used to working holidays, Femi, and it's just weird having one off. One thing we haven't talked about at all is the NBA. In fact, there is some kind of breaking news. The 76ers traded for Jaylen Brown, as we know. Well, now there's word out of Philly that they may make a run at LeBron James. This could be an interesting year in Philadelphia. You know?
Yeah, no, I think, look, I am biased on this, but I think LeBron's going to end up at Golden State, honestly.
Think so?
Him and Steph, look, I'm genuinely saying this. I don't know if you've been seeing it or not, because I'm a Warriors fan, so I pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Steph and LeBron are good friends. And they've always, and ever since they won that championship, and even before that, at the Olympics, before that, they were talking about getting together and how great it would be for them to play together.
Right.
I think that the Warriors are a LeBron away, maybe another player away. I'm not saying they can win the title, but they could definitely challenge for it. And so I think LBJ in Golden State, he's not that far from LA. His family's right in LA. It's an easy, quick trip back. I'm not saying that the geography is the reason why he would go to LA versus Philly, but I feel like there's a number of different things, if I'm triangulating, that makes sense for LeBron to go to Golden State.
As a former athlete, though, I've always noticed that personnel matters. It's different in the NBA. Salaries are different. The way players are moved are different. Yeah. It's kind of a unique situation they have there.
Yeah. I think that LeBron is willing to play for. Look, I'm not saying he's going to play for the minimum, but what I'm saying is that
you're not going to have to throw.
No, you're not. I think LeBron is the bell of the ball in regard to who he is and where he is in his career. Right. But he's automatically going to make a team that's on the precipice an NBA title contender.
Ovechkin signed a 1-year deal yesterday for $4.8, and that sounds about right. And that sounds like around what LeBron would make.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think LeBron has made his money. I mean, no one's probably made more in endorsements. I mean, LeBron's been playing for 23
years.
Okay, yeah. So look, he's made his money. This isn't about money for him at this point. This is about another ring. Look, I love LeBron.
I do too.
I love what he stands for.
I don't understand all the hate.
Look, some things just don't make sense. And when you're as successful as LeBron is, and look, LeBron has an ego, but he's earned it.
Yeah.
What great athlete doesn't have some level of ego? Maybe Steph Curry is the only one that you can say you've never seen. He's the guy that I'm like, I've never really seen Steph ever really. He's pretty quiet, God-fearing, talks about his family. He's one of the very, very few. Even Jaylen Brown has a little bit of an ego, and I love Jaylen Brown. I think he's one of the most intelligent NBA players I've ever seen talk about things outside of basketball and do it at a really high level.
What do you think about pairing those two up in Philly? Like the report
LeBron and Jaylen?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would put Philly right in the mix.
They were already in the mix last year.
But I mean at a higher definitely. I agree with you.
It seems to me like Philly's taking a big swing.
Joel is he's just never healthy. You know what I mean? And maybe having LeBron, that allows him to just if you can get him to the postseason,
let him hit someone else instead of just Joel.
Yeah. So no, I think look, LeBron will be great wherever he goes. Now, what if he ends up in look, I can't see him in San Antonio. I can't really see him in OKC either. I don't think any of those make sense.
That's not a good mix at all.
Yeah, exactly. How about New York?
If the price is right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So let's think about.
He might enjoy that.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I know LeBron wants another ring, but I don't think that the Spurs or OKC are on that list. Now, the Knicks, I could see. That makes sense. Because LeBron wants to be in the limelight.
Yeah.
Golden State, limelight. Knicks, limelight. Heat, limelight. Philly, limelight. Who else is there that makes sense right now? Is that it?
That makes sense right now?
Yeah. Just
if you're naming the Nets.
I don't think they're good enough.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't think they're good enough. No. And look, they're to me they're overshadowed by the Knicks.
Always have been.
Yeah,
always
I just don't. I don't. Yeah, I don't. Look, and look, we're just having an off the cuff discussion,
which is what we do.
Yeah. Jersey doesn't make sense to me. I'm just trying to think of like contender, limelight, big market, and when I say big market, I mean that like people care about that team and that and their performance.
Yeah, I was going to say Dallas, but I
don't think Dallas makes sense either.
I think they're in third place in that town behind the Rangers.
Yeah, Clippers don't make sense.
No.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah. All
right, stick around, everybody. We got a deck full of phone calls. We're going to get to those next. Bruce and Femi continues.
Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. Inside Access. Live on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Subscribe for daily shorts right to your phone and never miss what you missed. 105.7 The Fan.
Dover Motor Speedway is your home for NASCAR action. Enjoy high-speed action, the best fan zone, camping, tailgates, and more. Get tickets at DoverMotorspeedway.com. Once again, that's DoverMotorspeedway.com.
Hey, it's Vinny Serrato. If you want to be the ultimate summer host, you need the right setup from Town Appliance 4th of July shopping event. Upgrade your home with the everyday reliability of Whirlpool, the chef-inspired design of KitchenAid, or the high-end luxury of Jen Air. They also carry outdoor grills, beverage centers, and AC units to beat the heat, all with flexible financing. Mayor and Mayor will take great care of you at their Owings Mill showroom off Reisterstown Road. Tell them Vinny sent you. Call, text, or visit townappliance.com today for their 4th of July shopping event going on now.
For 250 years, America has been more than a place. It's been a promise, a story of courage, hope, and dreams. And through it all, local TV and radio broadcasters have been there, telling the story of America, bringing truth to light. Broadcasters tell the story of who we are and who we aspire to be. We are America's storytellers. We are broadcasters. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hi, this is Karen Kaiser with Glen Burnie Transmissions and Jim Jennings Transmissions. For over 60 years, we have offered the best transmission repair options in the Baltimore metro area. Save hundreds of repair dollars with the same warranty versus go to your dealership. The average new vehicle costs over $50,000 today, and we want to help you keep yours on the road when the transmission fails. Email or text us for a price quote. Our websites are gbt-online.com or jjt-online.com.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi? For what?
Better not to know.
Get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in your price for 5 years and see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams 4th of July sale and get 30% off paints and stains June 26th through July 6th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
It's summertime in Baltimore. Time to start thinking about getting your AC system in tip-top shape to handle the heat. Farnham & Durham, Maryland's oldest HVAC company, has been serving this community for over 100 years. They're the comfort guys, and they're my guys. They've been keeping families like mine and yours comfortable with their energy-efficient HVAC systems. Schedule an AC Precision tune-up with Farnham & Durham today for just $89. You can have your AC cranking and ready to keep you cool. Call the comfort guys today at 410-367-7777 or visit them at farnhamdurham.com.
Catholic schools embrace students and families from diverse, religious, ethnic, and economic backgrounds. Rooted in the belief that we are all children of God, our schools foster an inclusive environment. While our schools offer a comprehensive academic curriculum, we embrace a holistic approach that nurtures the mind, body, and spirit. Learn more at archbald.org/schools. That's archbald.org/schools.
Don't just give 20 to 30% of your retirement money to Uncle Sam. Listen to the Savvy Investor Radio Show and podcast. Weekend mornings here on 105.7 The Fan.
Weekends on The Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Welcome back, Bruce and Femi on a Friday. Mike Popovic's in here at 3 o'clock. Our thanks to Chris Redmond for being with us. That was a lot of fun. I always like talking to him.
We should do another segment.
Because we didn't get a chance to touch upon him and Unitas.
Yeah,
I know you were close with Unitas, but Unitas made a point that Louisville thing was strong with those two guys.
No, that's true. I actually think, man, maybe Chris was the person that introduced me to Chad. Maybe that's how I met Johnny.
I would think so.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Because Unitas sought out Chris when he was a rookie. He just had that Louisville. He gave you, It's really interesting, and I just love the fact that he had so many of his teammates. And I didn't get a chance to ask him this, but that championship you guys won in 2000, how much of that came back as he gets deeper and deeper into the playoffs this year? How many of those memories do you think he relied on? Probably quite a few.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he pulled from all kinds of stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Chris is pretty well-rounded, and I think he made some really insightful points about, a lot of the things that he learned about coaching as what not to do. Yeah. And I think that there are a lot of coaches, especially during our time period, where the relationship was fairly transactional and it wasn't an eye-to-eye collaborative thing. He made a point to say that. It was kind of like, you do what we say, I'm looking down at you. And this is not like to say that coaches were doing something mean. It was just the way the culture was between coaches and players. There was a wall or a barrier there. And nowadays it's way more collaborative. There's a way better relationship amongst coaches and players. And I think that the reason there's such an influx of young coaches is because young coaches relate better to young players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that had a lot to do with the Ravens coaching change.
Yeah,
I really do.
I do too.
I really do. Let's go to Joe in Woodbury. Joe, what's going on?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, Joe.
What's up, Joe?
Man, I just sat there listening to y'all, and my train of thought is gone. I forgot why I even called, except to say,
it says on the rack here on our grid. It says lack of people going to game.
Oh well, yeah, I thought about that because I mean the Orioles. I think that's probably why I really called about the Orioles, but I didn't want to talk about them, man, because
look, we've seen this as far as the empty seats go. When they win, those seats aren't empty. It's pretty simple,
right?
You know,
right, and whatever I was going to say, it went away, man.
Hold on, Joe. Mate, you got something about the Ravens? Come on now. Camp's right around the corner. Anything about the Ravens?
No, well,
that's all right.
As far as the Ravens concerned, man, I was going to say something about that. And like I said, my mind, I'm just sitting there listening to y'all, and I got so many
the heat. It's the heat, Joe. The heat got to you. Call me back next week stronger, all right? There's Joe in Woodbury. Let's go to Ted in Baltimore. Ted, what's up?
Hey, man. How are you guys today?
What's up, Ted?
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
I just have one simple question to see if you'd thought about it. I don't see much discussion on it, and I kind of used it to push back on all the punitive online Orioles fans, and that is, I'm not sure I see Elias being fired while there's a potential lockout. I just don't know how you get rid of the head of your organization.
That's a hell of a
all
point.
His knowledge, having built that. And knowing all the in and outs about the players.
That's a great point.
And contract,
and if you do fire him, what's the guy that's going to replace him? What's he going to inhert with a lockout?
Yeah, he's going to have a big learning curve in the middle of chaos that no one's really used to dealing with.
I think I think most fans it's punitive. They're mad at him, so he should be fired. But you got to think a little deeper than that.
Yeah, and as I said, I think maybe he deserves it. Maybe after the lockout's completely resolved, maybe there is change that happens on that level. I just don't see it happening before the collective bargaining and the lockout's completely solved.
I wish I could disagree, Ted, but I can't. Thanks for the call. We appreciate it. No, that thing's coming.
Yeah, I can push back a little bit on that. I actually think that the lockout, that the GM isn't going to have anything to do during the lockout. You know what I mean? So that's a great time to study your prospects, to look at who's in the college pipeline. So I think on the surface, it sounds like something that would cause trepidation, but actually, I actually think it gives a team to do an internal analysis, actually.
Yeah, but you build a roster every year, and that would really, as a GM, when you're thinking about building a 2026 roster or 2027 roster, I mean, how do you proceed? That was the point.
Well, I mean, I think the analysis on available players doesn't change. If anything, everything's frozen. Everything's frozen. So I actually don't think the more I think about it, the less I think it's part of the calculation. Actually, now when it comes to trading players and long-term agreements and things like that. Now, from that situation, I could see how that would be a problem. But in regard, like if a guy is underperforming, and remember, the person who's going to make that decision is the owner, right? So. And once again, I've never been an owner, so I'm really cosplaying right here. You know what I mean?
It would be interesting to cover a team that you owned.
Yeah, it would be. It would be fun. I promise you that. It'd be
a lot of press conferences.
Oh, there'd be a lot of press conferences, a lot of transparency. I can tell you that. But yeah, anyway, it's we should dig into that a little bit, Bruce. But maybe not right now. But give me a day to chew on that.
Well, let's go to Andre in White Marsh. Andre, what's going on?
All right, how y'all doing?
What's up, Andre?
You and your family.
You too.
All right. I want to chime in. I've been an Orioles fan, and over 50 years, I was going to the ballpark since I was 3 years old, and I done watched Paul Blair, Brooks Riley, Mark Verlander. So what I want to say is, and since we got Vinny on, we have a standard here in Baltimore, and defense, we always had the best players in history. And what this general manager has done has reversed it and took the Oriole way out from how we win championships. And not only that, he goes out his way to seem like to upset the fans. We had Cedric Mullins, we had Austin Hayes, we had a 103-win team, and he found a way to go backwards off a 103-win team. Now, how can you do that off of 103 wins and then make the playoff the next year? He should have been building on that, but he gutted the team. He gutted Cedric Mullins, the best center fielder in baseball, which is doing great right now. He got rid of Austin Hayes. He got rid of Mateo. With that team, we won 100 and some games. Then he let Santana go. Then Santana go. Then he hired this guy in right field.
O'Neal.
All he do is strike out. Yes. And he not only let Santana go, he let our other buddy go that went to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He let all the players go from a 100-win team. Then he hired managers that really don't know his ABCs, when to pull pitches. He pulled when the pitches is, if we got 5 straight strikeouts, he pulls them. We could have swept the Dodgers. Then hold up, we could have swept the Dodgers. We had the Dodgers. We had them by 2 runs. Somebody came in and Wells. Wells had 4 hours. Guys struck him out. Then whoever came behind him came in and struck out 2 more guys. So he brings in a guy that was on the disabled list for 2 months and brings him in and protect the 2-run lead. What manager does that? The manager was over his head. And if we get rid of the GM, I think the momentum, it'll give us a oomph what we need. And he should not be allowed to make any more trades. That's my opinion, because he has insulted Baltimore.
Okay,
that's what he
Andre.
has done.
Appreciate the call.
Good day. Happy 4.
You too, man. He don't like Mike Elias.
Man. He was doing it off the top of his head, too. I know. He didn't have a paper in front of him.
You know what? Any Oriole fan could probably do that right about now. Let me tell you how bad. All right, this is going to get lively now, because now we're down to the guys that want to talk about LeBron. All right? Uh-oh. Let's go to Michael in Cherry Hill. Michael, what's up?
Good afternoon.
Hey.
What's up, Michael?
Do you think now we have Anthony Davis with the Wizards?
Yeah.
Because Michael ended his career really with the Wizards. Would LeBron think about coming back and playing with Anthony Davis, the young boy that we just drafted? Yeah. You got the guy from Houston, and the Wizards have some really nice young pieces. The guy Saw and a couple other people that's been playing the last couple of years. They got some nice young pieces. But I don't like the coach. I think that the Wizards need to go and get Sam Cassell.
I think Sam Cassell.
Bring Mark Jackson back.
Sam Cassell would be a brilliant choice. I've been advocating for him for years. I don't think LeBron is a wizard. He's got one more year to play, and he wants to go chase a ring.
I don't want to.
If he want to win, look, Anthony Davis. But my thing is that I don't think they want to let the boy Saw come from off the bench. Because I don't know if LeBron's going to want to come off the bench.
Yeah, he's not. No. He's got 1 year to burn. Thanks for the call.
There's
Michael.
about 6 teams that LeBron's going to play for, and I promise you, Washington is not on that list.
No, again,
and yesterday they were talking about trading Anthony Davis to guess who? Golden State.
Yeah.
They were going to package Podemski and a couple other guys and send them to Washington, and guess who? They were going to get Anthony Davis. And guess why? He's right about this. LeBron, I was going to say Lamar. Lamar's always on top of my brain.
Always.
So Lamar's going to go play for Golden State. No, LeBron and Anthony Davis do want to play together, but they want to play together in Golden State probably.
Yeah.
It's not happening in Washington. Like I already said, they don't check the box. First of all, they're not a contender at all. Even with LeBron, they're not a contender.
Historically, they're not a contender.
Secondarily, he would not want to be in Washington.
No.
Like, I hate to say it, but no, he's not going there.
No.
And so...
You notice the World Cup is not in Washington? There's a reason for that. But go ahead.
I mean, the World Cup should have been at M&T Bank.
Well, you know what?
That's my bias coming out.
FIFA came in and they took him to Landover.
Yeah.
And they showed him, what do they call it now? Northwest Stadium. And FIFA basically laughed at him. And in fact, it drug us down, too.
Well, they played in Philly, right? They played in Philly?
No.
They didn't play in Philly?
I don't think so.
Oh, for some reason.
They did? Yeah, they
cool.
did.
All right. Cool. All right. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So
let's get one more hit. Roberto, is this Roberto Mike?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Happy birthday, Bruce.
Thank you.
Yeah, Roberto Mike. Man, I really don't care about the LeBron situation, but I think he's going to end up taking his talents back to South Beach. And
it's possible.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce the center's name that they just got, but I think he's going to take his talents back to South Beach.
Yeah,
We'll
I think
see.
it's possible. I think the Heat are on that short list for sure. I think they're at the bottom
Mike.
of the short list. I don't think they're. I think that look, the top teams for me are definitely are Golden State. I think Philly
you're
makes some
onto
sense.
something. I think you're onto something with the Knicks.
Yeah,
because I think LeBron.
I think the Knicks is a possibility.
LeBron would be willing to financially make that work.
He would fit right in.
He would, and that'd be a great place to spend his final season.
And that glow and that shine they have right now.
Yeah,
man. Look, I wouldn't even be mad if he went to the Knicks because I was so impressed with that team and the way they played and the way they coalesced around Jalen, around Brunson. You know what I mean? And
one of the best coaching
Anunoby.
jobs.
I mean, I just love that team. I'm not even a Knicks fan.
It's one of the best coaching jobs I ever saw.
I love Mike Brown.
Now, see, you should have. Well, yeah, I say you should have heard last week. Well, you couldn't because you were out of town. I told you I had Mike Hill on, and the first 10 minutes that I met Mike Hill back in 1992, it became immediately apparent that he was a loud and obnoxious Knicks fan. So I let him celebrate in front of Baltimore last week for about 10 minutes.
See, this is the thing. I like that team, but hard pass on Knicks fans. Because the craziness and the silliness and the lack of composure, and I get it. I know it's been, 50-something years, right? However long it's been.
It's, I want to say 73. Yeah. So 53 years.
Yeah. So there you go.
Wow.
So I understand, but the behavior was no.
Yeah. Well, in New York,
but it's okay. But look, I'm not going to let that affect the way I feel about that team and Mike Brown. Though
Right.
I love what they did. I love what he did.
All right, coming up 410-583-1057. We're going to take Mike in Bel Air's on the line. We're going to talk to him. If you want to get in line behind him, you can. But we're also going to talk about a tragedy that the Ravens family suffered over the weekend. We'll get into that.
Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. Inside Access. Live on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Subscribe for daily shorts right to your phone and never miss what you missed. 105.7 The Fan.
The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pregame straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals, regardless of the final outcome of the match. Make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Maryland only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. Please play responsibly. In partnership with MGM National Harbor.
Get in on the action at Horseshoe Casino this summer. Become a Caesars Rewards member. Earn bonus tier credits on designated promotional days at the kiosk check-in. Play their monthly kiosk games and get in on all the sports action in July at their on-site sportsbook and OTB. Bigger prizes, bigger moments. Don't miss your chance to win. Get in on the action at Horseshoe Baltimore for all the excitement. At Horseshoe, there is something for everyone. Baltimore's best bet. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. Trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Argentina was trading at 15% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $637 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're trading at today? Check Kalshi. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. That's promo code PITCH. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Must be present in state where it's legal to trade. Event contract trading may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Welcome back. Bruce and Femi on a Friday. Mike Popovic's in here at 3 when we get out of here, and he will take you up to 6 o'clock tonight. I mentioned this before we went to break, Femi, but something really tragic happened in the last couple of days. I knew Calais Campbell fairly well from when he played here. He's very good with the media. He's outgoing. He's not one of those media-hating players, and so I knew him a little better than most. When you think about what happened, about his mother being murdered by his brother, possibly, who's been arrested, his brother was off his meds, just to be kind about it. And it's real easy to blame and point fingers, but I think it also magnifies the problem of mental health. You know, you really can't judge people whose mental health is not good.
Yeah, I mean, he's a schizophrenic. Everyone that's close enough to the situation knows that. Yeah. And somebody who's been at least tangentially or, directly involved in mental health most of my life. My stepdad has a PhD in psychology. My undergrad degrees in psychology. I credit my mental health and mental state and transparency and vulnerability around mental health that I've practiced it, and I've gone through therapy on and off most of my life just for the sake of having another person that I could share things with that maybe I didn't want my family to deal with or whatever reason, and actually a requirement at San Diego State at the time when I graduated with my psych degree was a semester of therapy. You had to do it. I don't know if they do that anymore, but I thought it was one of the best things I ever did because there's always been kind of this negative veneer around mental health and getting help for mental health.
Yeah, you're weak.
Exactly. But nowadays it's really encouraged, and every NFL team has a therapist that players can go see. And sports psychology and sports therapy is amazing. It helps a lot of players find breakthroughs. But on the real life side of this, I think schizophrenia kind of onsets in people's 20s. I believe it's more of an earlier illness that's detected. And I think that Calais' mother, I actually think she worked in the space, I believe. I'm not sure if it says that there, but she's always, from the story that I understood is she took it upon herself to make sure that her son was taken care of and that she called him a good boy and that he was a good man, a good kid, and that, she wanted to help him.
Right. And that became, there were complaints in the neighborhood. He was acting strangely.
Other things that happened in the past. Yeah. So it's just so crazy that, that not only does Calais lose his mom, but he loses his brother as well in the process.
It could be worse than that. No,
there's nothing worse than that.
I mean, your mother's murdered. That's hard to accept, obviously, but when your brother does it, my gosh.
You can't even how do you even put yourself in those shoes?
You can't.
You can't, yeah. All you can do is pray and hope that there's some finality and resolution that makes Calais okay to proceed in a manner that he can be his full self. And how are you your full self right now? He just can't be.
Right. Given the depth of this tragedy, and given his status, in his career, it wouldn't shock me if he decided he didn't want to play this year.
Yeah,
and went ahead and hung it up.
It wouldn't shock me either. But on the other side of it, knowing who Calais is, Walter Payton Man of the Year, leader, he makes this an inspirational year. and says, you know what, I'm going all out for my mother, maybe and my brother.
Which sounds more like something Calais would do.
It does, but I wouldn't fault him for whatever decision he made.
I just brought it up.
I think there's a lot of wisdom in what you're saying, because there are people that would say, you know what, I need time,
Well, and also, if you remember when he talked this spring, he said, well, I really wanted to retire. I decided one more time at the end of this year. I think that it sounded like he really needed to, he had really talked himself into playing this year. I'm not convinced he totally wants to,
Oh, no.
I shouldn't have said totally wants to. I just think he probably wrestled with this decision harder than he has in the past.
Okay, I guess we could look at the same thing and come to two different conclusions.
Okay.
I know that he missed playing here.
Mm-hmm.
He always wanted to bring a ring here.
Yeah.
And I got the sense that he was ecstatic about the opportunity to right a wrong from when he was here before. So, and he made a point that this is going to be his last year, I think he said as well.
Multiple times.
Yeah. So I got the sense that he was excited about the opportunity. He's happy that it came together. I remember listening to him talk about the discussion that he and Eric had when he didn't come back before, and the discussion he had when he was brought back. And I got the sense that he was really excited to do something that they didn't get to do the last go round. So that was my take.
He's a lunch pail throwback type player. I mean, he shows up every day. He puts in the work, and he doesn't mouth off a lot. He's not a guy that refuses to talk to the media, but he's very careful with what he says, and he's very, let's say, effective in that role.
I've never heard a person say anything negative about Calais.
And you won't.
And he's a man amongst young men. He's a grown man. He's wisdom in the room. He's older than a lot of the coaches. I think he has a wealth of knowledge and experience on and off the field that will be really valuable for this team. And you made a really, I think, profound statement I would not fault him if he did that. I just don't see that happening. And if it did, I wouldn't be upset. I would totally understand, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah. I don't either, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either. I mean, who knows what's going through his mind right now?
Exactly. Yeah. Right. That's the hard part.
And this happened 3 weeks from the opening of training camp, when you're trying to get mentally ready and do all the things you need to do.
Maybe you can answer this. I'll answer it first, just so you know where I'm going with it. I'm a person that when bad things happen, I want to be immersed in something. I don't want to just sit with it and
wallow in it.
No, I don't want to do that. Yeah. And I think a lot of athletes are that way. Sure. Not all of us, because there's no blanket statements. But I do think that most of us that are used to being busy and working and grinding, we find some level of pleasure in the suffering of hard things. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. I find pleasure in suffering when things are hard. I really do.
Well, it's the whole don't take the easy way mentality. Yeah. Take the hard way, because it's worth more. I told you I watched the Elway thing last night, and that thing
great documentary.
His father kept pounding that home. Yeah. Don't take the easy way. Take the hard way.
I encourage you all to watch The Rise of the 49ers as well, another documentary about Bill Walsh. And for those of you that were lucky enough to hear Coach Billick come on with me and Bruce, I made a connection from Walsh to the Ravens. Yeah. And the way that Brian answered it, I felt so good about this, how I had kind of gamed it out between Denny and how there's a piece of Bill Walsh and that Niners mentality here in Baltimore. Happy to talk about it again another time. We're talking about Calais Campbell right now. But my point is that people that are driven to do great things find pleasure in suffering. Not that that you seek it out, but when it comes, you find a way to work your way through it.
And you accomplish something.
And you get something done. You use it as inspiration.
I do that every day when I'm getting my mile in.
Yeah.
There's a little part of that route where I say, well, it's Heartbreak Hill. Nah, there's a million reasons why I shouldn't be doing this. And you just kind of talk your mind out of it, and then that's kind of how it works. Mine's a wonderful thing that way.
Yeah. It's man. I want to make sure we stay in this moment. So I don't want to go off on a tangent. I'll save it for the next segment. But I really appreciate Calais, and I really appreciate. I think is it 20? What year is this going to be?
Oh boy,
does 20 make sense?
It makes definite sense.
Yeah, so it might be 20. If you,
I'm going to see here. I'm looking it up.
Pull up Wikipedia real quick if you want. But I just know that he doesn't have to do it anymore, and he still finds enjoyment in doing it.
Right.
And he had 6 sacks last year. Yeah, that would have led the Ravens in sacks.
He's 39 years old.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe it's 17. Maybe it's 17 or 18.
See, his rookie year was 2008.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 18?
2007.
Okay, so 18 or 19 then, right? Okay. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, he doesn't have to do it, but he chooses to. And I respect that.
You should. And you know what? When you get to that point of your career, decisions tend to be final. And if he feels like he wants to try it one more time, well, let's let him. You know. And you mentioned the Man of the Year thing. You know, there are very few guys that have that logo on their shirt.
Yep.
And you want one of those guys on your team if you can get him. You know, for sure.
Was Roquan? Oh, did Roquan win that? Was he a runner-up for it?
No, he may have been. I don't know, but he didn't.
He didn't win, okay.
In fact, I think Calais is the only one they ever had.
Oh, is that right?
Russell Wilson has one. I know that. And I'm trying to think of who else is still active, but I don't know. Anyway, hour number 3 is coming up. Stick around. We got more for you. Mike Popovic comes up at 3.
The teams you grew up with
Ravens are world champions.
Are the ones you still love today. 105.7 The Fan.
Alex B and Zach came to the rescue when we lost our heat. The commercial I hear every day on my way to work is true. Amazing.
Greg did a great job.
Tony saved us tens of thousands of dollars because he was able to determine that our system's heat exchanger is fine.
Andre was over the top impressive, professional and diligent. He took his time to work the problem, not just diagnose a quick fix.
Zachary was able to remove and replace our AC system in what must have been record time. Amazing. Was amazing.
Anthony and Jamal were outstanding. The entire install completed in one day.
You can tell this company truly lives up to its name. Amazing. Their owner says he has the best people, and after this experience, I completely agree.
Those are snippets from 7 different Google reviews for amazing plumbing, heating, and air. And yes, I proudly claim to have the best techs, installers, and plumbers in Baltimore because I do. You can count on it at
CALLAMAZING. Go to callamazing.com. Want a checking with more rewards? Introducing Rewards Checking from Security Plus Federal Credit Union. Built to reward the way you already bank, like using your own debit card and receiving direct deposits. Plus, with local branches in Owings Mills, Woodlawn, and Northwest Plaza, better banking is always nearby. If you live, work, or worship in Baltimore, you're eligible to enjoy the benefits of membership at Security Plus Federal Credit Union. Visit securityplusfcu.org/rewards checking to learn more.
Get summer savings all month long at Bel Air Hyundai, part of Jones Junction. Go see Kevin Brammer, the sales director, and get you a great sales experience. Save with 0.99% 60-month financing on 2026 Sonatas or Tucsons. Come see the 26 Elantra Hybrid. It gets over 50 miles per gallon and make no payments till September 26 on every new Hyundai. Banks on site for instant credit approval. Kevin, he's going to give you $500 more than CarMax or Carvana for your trade. Get America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, owner assurance. Plus, get you Jones for a lifetime. Free oil changes, free car washes, and an engine guaranteed for a lifetime. With over 2 million likes and reviews, you too, you can and you will be a satisfied customer. Get summer savings now at Bel Air Hyundai, part of Jones Junction, 1504 Bel Air Road, only 15 minutes from the White Marsh Mall. See that great selection at BelAirHyundai.com and get you a Jones Junction tag frame, just like me, my wife, Vincent, Charlie, and Rachel.
Treat yourself this summer and taste the Baltimore tradition that is the legendary Costas Inn. For over 55 years, the Costas Inn's been a Baltimore original, dishing out their legendary, fat, delicious, award-winning crab cakes. And if you haven't visited the newest Costas Inn location at the Fairgrounds in Timonium, it's on the second floor of the grandstand, and now's the time to check it out. Enjoy your favorites from the original Costas Inn, plus tons of TVs with live sports and a new draft system holding 12 beers on tap. Check out either Costas Inn today, and when you do, make sure you tell them Jeremy Kahn sent you.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
For 3 days only at Old Navy, get tees at just $4 for kids, $5 for women, and $6 for men. Yep, tees are $4 for kids, $5 for women, and $6 for men. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, only at Old Navy. Valid 7/3-5. Select styles only.
This is WJZ-FM, Catonsville, Baltimore's sports talk at 105.7 The Fan, and always live on the free Odyssey app. Weekends on The Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Oh, my friend had to ask me something they didn't understand. I get all the women in the farm.
This is kind of a dedication to Femi. Another story for another day. That's for sure.
I was wondering where you're going to go with that.
I was thinking about going somewhere, and then my experience and wisdom caught up with me and said, "No, that's probably a."
Well, we appreciate that.
I know you do. 410-583-1057. Orioles had a day off yesterday. They are back in action tonight, 7:10 p.m., opening up a weekend series against the Reds in Cincinnati. Not a team they play a lot. In fact, the most high-profile games these two teams ever played was the 1970 World Series, where Brooks Robinson basically stole their lunch money. But then that gave start to the Big Red Machine, which dominated the 70s until the Yankees stepped up, But, I mean, Cincinnati's a great baseball town. They struggle right now like the Orioles struggle. Because if there's one thing baseball don't care about, it's who was good in the 70s. I mean, can you keep up? And the Reds haven't been able to. In fact, the interesting thing about this matchup, the Orioles come in 40-48, the Reds 40-46. Yep. So you're dealing in the same level of mediocrity.
Yeah, and they're 3-7 in their last 10 as well.
Yeah.
I was kind of, I don't pay attention to anything in Cincinnati. I'm just going to be fully transparent with you.
It's a bad town.
No, I have personal reasons for that. So nothing against the folks of Cincinnati necessarily, but man, I'm looking at the Reds. They're 29th in batting average, 25th in on base percentage, 22nd in slugging. Let's look at their pitching and defense. They're 23rd in ERA. Well, those are 22 in ERA. So, so WHIP, they're 29th. 25th in home runs. They're 18th in fielding, so they're kind of middle of the pack in fielding. But, yeah, they're having a rough season.
Basically, what we're saying is if you want to watch this game tonight, you're going to have to really want to watch this game tonight. This is not...
Well, look, I'm gonna tune in just because I want to see how Trevor does. I want to see how Trevor... I want to see if he's still... he's been on track lately. And obviously, he's been a topic of discussion as a potential, trade piece, trade piece, exactly. So, I'll definitely watch.
Trevor, that might be interesting, but the only problem is, and you heard Rich say it again this week, he said it last week, that the fans aren't interested in the rebuild.
Yeah.
Trading him for a prospect, I don't know.
No, not as a prospect, not for a prospect.
But if you can trade him for somebody you can plug in now,
yeah, exactly. Well, I do think that there is a nuanced version of making some moves at the trade deadline that address. It's equal talent for equal talent, right? Yeah. It's not necessarily for the future, and it's not to unload salary or anything like that, right? So we'll see. I'm really curious. You know what? It's a good soap opera. It's Days of Our Lives. That's what it feels like to me. You know what I mean? So I'm going to sit back and watch, and all the feelings that people are having are all valid. And we had, I can't recall the caller that called that really kind of went through everything that happened in LA with the Dodgers all the way through to kind of, what happened after that and kind of where we are today. And to that type of recall means that there's been some emotional scarring when you can do it off the top of your head. That means you're remembering for a reason.
I just wish you could have been here in a year when they were really good and just see what it does to people.
Yeah, no, I was here.
Were you here? Okay,
yeah. I was here with that Nelson
23.
Cruz team.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, I was here for a lot of that. And so, the Giants won some World Series in that time, but the O's were really good. I mean, did they go to the ALCS?
Twice.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I remember that.
Yeah.
And I remember those teams, and I remember those lineups. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That was Buck Showalter's team.
Yeah. And I would always go to games. Yeah. I would go to opening day and stuff like that just because, I love baseball. So I recall it.
Plus, it's still the best damn ballpark in the world.
Yeah,
I
don't know. Oracle Park might have something to say about that in San Francisco. I was just there. Now, I'm biased with that, but no, I get it. Camden's
I'm
amazing.
biased with Camden.
Camden's an institution. I totally get it. Camden. Look, let me give the design and kind of like the whole thing with it started a whole renaissance of unique ballparks, across Major League Baseball.
And you saw one knockoff after another.
Yeah, well, I think that inspired what the Giants did. Have you ever been to Oracle?
I have.
Okay, so you see, it has kind of the brick and
the thing that sets Oracle apart though is that waterfront location.
And that's what makes Petco
sucks all the air out of the room.
Petco being in downtown San Diego, literally in downtown San Diego, and being on the water, I put Petco right there with Oracle.
Those
Camden.
Those are the same folks that built Camden Yards. In fact, the Orioles president and two of his aides went out there and worked for the Padres while they were building that stadium. But I think of all the knockoffs, the one that's come the closest is Denver. If you've never been there, it's close.
How long is I've seen quite a few Rockies games, but I'm wondering how long is that stadium, ballpark?
It's been there a while.
Okay, cool. So I've been
30 years.
Okay, so they haven't. Okay, yeah.
The sad thing about Colorado is that Major League Baseball has regulations about what the plate faces.
Yeah.
And they figure in the sun level and all of this. Well, because of that, they can't. You look out in the outfield and you don't see the mountains.
Yeah.
And if you go into Denver and you can't see the mountains, that's kind of disappointing.
But the good thing is you can see it when you leave the ballpark and when you go to the ballpark. You can see it then.
I like it a lot.
I get it. Yeah.
But Camden Yards, very revolutionary. And I don't know if you ever heard this. Do you know why the warehouse is shaped the way it is?
No, I don't.
It's so long and narrow.
No.
It was built in the 1890s, and that's how they used to. The trains would go underneath it, and they would offload them straight up. You had different categories of that word, but that's why it's so long and so narrow. And it's got a twin in Cincinnati, and it's still standing. It's not used for anything sports related, but it's the exact copy of that Camden Yards warehouse in Cincinnati. It's really interesting.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
it's so fascinating to me when people come from the West Coast and they come visit and they love the kind of the history.
Yeah.
And just the age of the East Coast and Baltimore in particular, and all the different things, and kind of the Mason-Dixon line running through. All the different things that happen. You have such amazing history, right? The things that you can study and learn about. In California, we don't have. We have some things, but not like this.
I'll give you a piece of history that I think is really cool. Have you been? You've been to Federal Hill, right?
Yeah, of course.
You know how the cannons pointing at downtown? When in the early days of the Civil War, Baltimore was Confederate leaning. And so the Union Army came up here real fast because it's obvious you got to protect Baltimore because it's right next door. Well, the commanding general of the Union garrison, that's where they were camped up there on Federal Hill. That's why it's called Federal Hill. Called the mayor, called him up to the camp. And he says, Mayor, he said, you see that cannon right there? Yeah, I see it. He said, it's pointed right at your office. I want you to keep that in mind. To this day, there's buildings in the way, but that cannon is still pointed right at the mayor's office.
Wow.
Yeah. It was, and then you can get into Fort McHenry in the War of 1812 and all of that. It's fascinating.
And then one of the oldest bars in the country, the Horse, is right down there.
I like to take out of town friends
Point.
there.
Yeah. So,
and we may claim to Edgar Allan Poe, but so do other cities like Richmond and Boston and all of that. The reason that he's known here is because he died here. He wasn't born here. He didn't do any of his writing here, but they found him dead.
See, I always assumed that he was born and died here, and all his, most of his famous writings were done here in Baltimore.
No, he was born in Richmond, and he did most of his writing in Boston. And so both of those cities laid claim to him, but he died here. And right on the corner of Green and Fayette Street, Green runs north to south and it turns into, what's the road that goes by the stadiums?
Not Light Street.
No. That goes by the stadium, Russell Street.
Oh, Russell Street, yeah.
Green Street turns into Russell Street when you get down by the stadium. But it is right there on that corner. It is exactly 7 blocks from M&T Bank Stadium, which I think is really cool. His grave. And it's the only sport franchise I know of in the world that's named after a poem.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
They had a fan vote here.
I remember that.
I'm trying to. Americans was one of them.
Yeah, there were some. I'm so glad some of those names.
Rhinos. That wasn't going to work. But what happened was they let NFL Properties hand it because Art had his hands full just moving the franchise.
Yeah.
So he told NFL Properties, design the uniforms, help us come up with a name and all of that. And that first year uniform looks like it was designed by an NFL committee.
Yeah, not good.
It was horrible. They had to tweak it right away.
But now we got one of the best uniforms in Major League Baseball in the NFL.
But Wally Williams talks about that all the time. He said, "Man, I had an orange helmet and we wore white jerseys all the time.
Yeah.
And then the next season, look what they gave us to put on. It was kind of interesting. But that was a fun thing to go through. And I talk to Wally all the time about being on a team that moves. How weird an experience was that? It was strange." one thing that Art did is that when he fired Bill Belichick, he told all the assistants, he said, you got a job in Baltimore if you want one. All of them took him up on that, except for a defensive coordinator. So they went and they hired Marvin Lewis away from the Steelers. But you know who that D coordinator was? Nick Saban.
Nick Saban, that's right.
Yeah, they were together.
Yeah,
Belichick and Saban in Cleveland, and couldn't get anything done.
Yeah.
And the reason that Belichick didn't make the move to Baltimore is that prickly personality. Art knew deep in his soul that wasn't the man to sell this team to this city, because the team was going to be weak for a couple of years. Yeah. So it was a masterstroke bringing in Ted Marchibroda, who's grandfatherly. He had coached the Colts before and was very popular here. And they didn't win many games, but it was a masterstroke.
But it didn't take long.
But he wasn't Bill Belichick yet. That's the thing I want everybody to understand. You know, it just.
I think the Brian Billick hire the whole play like a Raven moniker started with the 1999 Baltimore Ravens.
No question.
We started out 2-6. We finished 6-2. We beat Tennessee. We beat a bunch of teams and won a bunch of games that the team. I mean, I got to witness it. You know, the transformation happened right in front of our eyes, and we all had confidence going into the 2000 season that we would be Super Bowl contenders. We knew it.
I could feel it just from being around you guys.
Yeah.
I saw the swagger born in 1999. It was fun to be around. Let's see what Mitch in New Jersey has to say. Mitch, what's up?
Hi, guys.
Hey, Mitch.
How you guys doing? Happy
Mitch.
Fourth.
Happy Fourth.
Guys. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. I called to talk about the NBA, but you guys always bring out interesting stuff. But I'll stick with the NBA. LeBron's one of my favorite players. I think. But he makes me a little sick. You know, wherever he goes, it's like it's never good enough. It's not about the money, then he would stay with the Lakers. But like him and Kawhi Leonard, they got rid of him. The teams got better in LA. If he really wants to have more people like him, go to Washington or Philadelphia. But the thing about being with a winner, go back to your hometown, man. I understand this guy.
Yeah,
I cannot believe all the hate for the guy out there.
It's always been
Cleveland. Hey, Mitch, Cleveland is right now the top two teams are Golden State and Cleveland.
Yeah, and rightly so. But I'm telling you, the Philly thing is intriguing.
No, I agree with you.
I could see why that would be attractive to him, because let's be honest here. He's talking about one more year. He wants to go somewhere for one more year. And the Phillies just made that huge, or the Sixers rather, just made that huge trade. He may feel like the iron's hot in Philly. I can see everybody agreeing to that move.
No, I don't disagree with you. And it's not like LeBron is diminished. I mean, he's not.
No, he's still playing.
But I mean, I think he's averaging 21 and 6 or something crazy. I mean, look, he's a really good player still. He's a top 20 NBA player right now.
Have you seen the YouTube stuff of him playing high school football?
I think I've seen. Was he a tight end?
Yeah.
Or he was
tight end and DN.
Yeah.
Can you imagine dropping back and?
I would put him at DN for sure. That's what he would be. He'd be a Hall of Fame DN.
Yeah, and believe me, call it up on YouTube, folks. If you don't have anything to do today, just LeBron James football, you will be impressed. And while you're at it, pull up Allen Iverson football. You'll be very impressed by that too. All right, stick around, everybody. More of the same coming up.
Hi, it's Mike Popovic. No show this Saturday with the 4th of July holiday. However, I will be filling in this Friday from 3 until 6 after Bruce and Fenny. On the program, a message to Orioles manager Craig Albert has about why he might not be getting the warmest of welcomes this season from the fans and media, and it has nothing to do with this season. I'll explain. Also, how a lockout might be good for the Orioles. Audio from former Met Wally Backman in an interview on his sister Odyssey station this week with a spot-on message about hitting and analytics. Also, best summer sports trips from the past and where you might be headed this summer, your man cave improvements just in time for the fall, and plenty more. Talk to you Friday at 3 here on Sports Radio 105.7 The Fan.
Hey, it's Vinny Serrato. Upgrade your home with top brands and flexible financing during Town Appliance's 4th of July shopping event going on now. Mayor and Mayor, they're going to take great care of you. Tell them Vinny sent you when you stop by the showroom, call, text, or visit townappliance.com today.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-497-8091. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-497-8091. That's 800-497-8091. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Kohl's knows summer comes with a few family debates. Like, what's the best ice cream flavor? Or who gets the good pool noodle? But when it comes to Kohl's summer outfits, everyone's in agreement. They're comfy, they're cool, they're stylish. And they're here to make everyone's summer feel a little easier. Shop now for looks that the whole family will sign off on at Kohl's and Kohls.com. Select styles, some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
BetMGM Sportsbook is giving you the chance to win a prize every day during baseball season. Step into the batter's box for BetMGM Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Log in every day for your chance to win. Pick an area of the strike zone and take your swing. If you get a hit, you'll receive a prize. Smash a home run to collect a bonus bet. Just log into your BetMGM Sportsbook account and visit your promotion section to access the Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Swing for the Fences every day with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Maryland only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets expire in 7 days. Please play responsibly in partnership with MGM National Harbor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, you need to hear this message. The IRS can take aggressive action by hitting you with penalties, interest, wage garnishments, and bank levies. Thousands of Americans thought there was no hope until they realized there is a free alternative thanks to the USA Tax Network. People who have owed $10,000, $20,000, even $30,000 or more are now reducing or even eliminating their tax debt after completing their free tax review. Go to notax33.com to request your free tax review and get connected with a tax resolution specialist. Explore options that may be available for your situation, including payment plan assistance, IRS negotiation support, tax resolution programs, and financial hardship solutions. Don't let the IRS take more of your hard-earned money. Save thousands and get connected with a tax resolution specialist to find out if you can reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. Go to notax33.com now to see if you may qualify. That's notax33.com.
Paid advertisement. USA Tax Network is not a law firm, tax firm, or tax relief company. We do not provide tax advice or tax resolution services. We connect consumers with independent tax resolution providers.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Welcome back. Bruce and Femi show on a Friday. No show tomorrow. Don't tune in here looking for us at noon because we ain't going to be here. We're here today instead. 410-583-1057. Love to hear what's on your mind. 410-583-1057. Femi, I think we're 3 weeks away from rookies reporting to Owings Mills. It's going to be I hope it's an uneventful camp, which means you get through it relatively healthy, right. But it's going to be an interesting one nonetheless. If for no other reason, you got a brand new coaching staff that's parachuted in here. And fans are going to get a chance to see them at work for the first time.
Yeah, I'm actually pulling up a bunch of my Ravens stuff because I feel like if I'm not talking about the Ravens every day, I feel like I lose something. You know what I mean? So this is the thing that I've been talking about: 30,000 feet, right? And as I like to say, macro analysis, right?
Macro, yes.
I think that Jesse Minter is the perfect hire. I love the fact that they hired a defensive-minded, and I'm going to use the word savant in air quotes because there's something special about this overlap between what Jesse does and what Mike McDonald did. They philosophically do a lot of things very similarly. He took a Chargers defense that was in the bottom third of the NFL and made them a top 5 defense in almost every category that mattered.
And Oweh was a direct beneficiary.
He was. And I think Trenton Simpson is going to have one of the best boosts in performance. He's a different player than Oweh. He's an off-ball backer, but has some rush capability. Trenton Simpson is one of the most gifted athletes on this defense.
And he showed flashes last year.
He did. And I think that the game that stands out to me, I think it was a game against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that sounds
his rookie year, when I think we had clinched already, I believe. And he got a chance to play that whole game next to maybe Patrick Queen didn't play. I'm trying to remember the details of that, but he was able to see ball, get ball type stuff, and he went out there and played really, really well.
They played Pittsburgh in the rain right at the end of the season.
Is that what it was?
And
Okay,
the game meant nothing to them.
That's the game. That's the game that I'm recalling.
Yeah.
And so Trenton, people don't remember that. When he was with Debo and Clemson, Dabo Sweeney. Yeah.
Dabo Sweeney.
And by the way, Debo Samuel is on my brain because he's a veteran receiver
and still out there
that I would love to see here. Anyway, so Dabo and Debo. Now I'm talking about Dabo Sweeney and Trenton Simpson playing for Dabo and how Dabo used him on his defense. He was more of a rush guy. He wasn't really a true off-ball backer. And I was listening to Roquan talk about how Trenton, the learning curve that he needed to kind of close and the gap that he needed to close and why his athleticism didn't show is because he was processing. And everyone knew this a bit. And I don't know if Zach Orr's defense necessarily didn't help him. I mean, obviously with injuries, look, I love Zach. I don't want to go back there. Yeah, I don't want to go back there necessarily. But my point is that back to Coach Minter, I believe that there's going to be such a bump in performance and play because the way he coaches, the way he teaches, the way that he puts players in positions to make plays, I think Trenton's going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries of that. And that's why one of the reasons I love the hire, because everybody on some level, I think Roquan will get back to pro ball, all pro level type playing as well.
I heard yesterday, it was on this station, I forget who said it, but the Ravens spent more on defense than any other team in the NFL this year.
Yeah. That's true, and I think that the Ravens were already spending, I think, a top 5 on defense even before this year, I believe, But Trey Hendrickson is going to be the closer that we need. I think Zion Young, I'm
excited about him.
I'm very excited about Zion. The fact that he was there at 45 kind of blew me away. His comp for me, and I've said this to you, is Jadeveon Clowney. I think he's got a lot of Jadeveon Clowney in him. Now, does he have that same level of athleticism as Jadeveon? That is yet to be seen. But the ferocity and the velocity in which he plays, the way he reads and reacts full speed in regard to shedding blockers and pursuing the quarterback and making tackles in the backfield. I love Zion Young. And when I did one of my first early mock drafts, he actually fell to 45. Me and Bobby did it on his podcast, Bobby Trossett, who we had on as a guest friend of the show, as people like to say. Sure. It's the first time I've ever said that, Bruce. You like that? Friend of the show?
You're hitting milestones as we go.
I'm learning. So one of our first podcasts, when we were doing mock drafts, he fell to us, and I was really excited. I didn't think that was possible, and here we are. And it was my wish going into free agency and the draft that we addressed 4 players immediately. 2 on the defensive side of the ball, Zion Young and Trey Hendrickson, and we got Calais as well.
Right.
And then on the offensive side of the ball, I wanted linemen, and we got John Simpson and we got Venga Ione. You know what I mean? So I'm really excited about what this means, and I think we have a lot more depth now than we did a year ago.
I agree, but I still want to see him straighten this center thing out. Yeah. I mean, that's not going to wait.
I think the center's in the building. I've been saying it for a long time, and I'm fine with it.
Well, did you hear what Minter said at the end of the spring? We want to put them all 3 into a position to compete this July. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Which is not given much of an answer, but I guess I get it.
It's the truth.
They don't know either, right?
Well, when you have 4 or 5 guys that are going to play center, I mean, what else are you supposed to do? You can only make a trade if a trade is available.
Yeah.
And Bradbury right now is not available.
Right.
And so if we had issues with both guard positions last year, and we didn't have an issue at center, but the guards affected the center. You bring in 2 guards, that's going to help whoever plays center.
It definitely is.
Yeah, so if you want to have, if the most insulated, literally and figuratively speaking, position on offensive line is what position? Center. You got 2 guys on each side of you, and guess who got behind you? You got a running back behind you, and guess what? Sometimes you got a tight end behind you or a fullback behind you. No fullbacks in this offense, but you have all the things around you to make sure that you're successful. Guess who won a Super Bowl with an undrafted free agent at center? The Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
So I am not worried. This people losing their minds over the center position, no, I'm good. I understand the PTSD around overconfidence. I totally get it. And if you're concerned, I don't blame you. But me personally, I'm good. If people can see Bruce's face right now, he's like, huh? He's like, you're convinced. I'm not convinced, Femi, but you're convinced.
I was convinced of a lot of things before last season. watching the Orioles and then the Ravens. I was convinced of everything.
I understand that.
Boy, they totally changed. And so I view it differently now.
I don't expect people to be where I am. And I think that
But you have more of an educated opinion.
That's what I was going to say. So like it's kind of like when someone says, hey, we're going to do this surgery and we're going to do that. And you talk to the doctor, he's like, yeah, I got it. And you're like, dang, that sounds crazy. Not to compare, surgical procedures and building an NFL roster, but they both require...
Not dissimilar.
Well, they both require precision and a scalpel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Not in that order necessarily.
Not in that order, but yeah, requirements.
All right, coming up, we're going to open the phones back up. We have Samuel in Baltimore wants to talk to us. You can get in line behind him. 410-583-1057. Bruce and Femi Show continues.
What happens next happens here. Baltimore Sports Radio.
That ball is out of here.
1057 The Fan.
Selling your home is a big decision. Vinny Stio makes it simple with the Your Home Sold Guarantee. Your home sold or he'll buy it. That's peace of mind you can count on. Call Vinny today. 410-793-1801. 410-793-1801.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Raymore Flanagan's first Baltimore showroom is now open in White Marsh. Furnish the spaces where you gather, rest, and make memories by stopping in to find furniture looks you love and top mattress brands you trust. Come home to comfort with 3-day delivery on thousands of in-stock items. Or sleep better tomorrow with free next-day mattress delivery on purchases of $500 or more. Raymore Flanagan, family owned for nearly 80 years. Now in White Marsh, Maryland.
Rolled your ankle playing pickleball? Pulled a muscle on the golf course? Feeling that shoulder after a weekend workout? Skip the long wait at the ER or urgent care and go straight to the orthopedic experts. Ortho Maryland has walk-in care in 5 locations throughout Baltimore and Harford counties. The newest location in Reisterstown now offers convenient day and evening walk-in care, on-site x-rays, DME, and physical therapy. Visit orthomaryland.net for hours and locations.
We're at a 2-2 stalemate into stoppage time. Next goal, Shirley wins it. He sets up for the corner kick. Curls it in. He's up for the header. And score! Brilliant goal!
Soccer's biggest games are here. Get ready by heading over to Giant for all your matchday essentials. And let Upside set up the assist with a $10 cashback bonus on your first grocery purchase. Whether it's food for your watch party, dining out during match days, or the gas you need to get where you're going in time to catch kickoff, Upside has you covered to earn cash back on your everyday purchases.
Right now, get a $10 cashback bonus on your first grocery purchase at Giant. Download the free Upside app and use promo code CHARM06. That's promo code CHARM06 for a $10 bonus. Remember, use promo code CHARM06.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
party at your place this summer? Fix things up inside and out with July 4th deals, now at Lowe's. Get up to 45% off select major appliances and save up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, save $80 on the select Charbroil Performance Series gas grill, now $299. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
The sounds of summer. They're great until they're not. Luckily, AutoZone has free battery testing and charging.
Let me check that for you.
To help make a rough moment smooth. Don't miss the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone. Free products with select deals until July 27th. And free services every day. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Hey, it's Ed. Longest summer days means plenty of ways to keep your game at the top of its game. And Lions Den has everything you need to turn up the heat at home. Make this season a winner. Lions Den. Pleasure, passion, romance, lionsden.com.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Vinny Haynie.
Welcome back. Bruce and Femi on a Friday. No show tomorrow. Don't be tuning in. Mike Popovic usually follows us on Saturday. He follows us today, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Happy to be with you here. 410-583-1057. Samuel in Baltimore, what's on your mind, sir?
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I'm just wondering about the Ravens coaching staff. Look, I've been a Ravens fan my entire life, the whole 13 years. And listen, I don't remember any other coaches besides Coach Harbaugh, because there wasn't any. But listen, I don't know if I'm going to see the same Ravens. I mean, I'm going to take it for better or for worse, because Coach Harbaugh, he wasn't able to get us to another Super Bowl after I was born. But then again, he didn't take us to too many bad seasons either. So, I don't know. I'm just wondering.
Are you Samuel? Are you worried? Are you worried about the changes? All the changes? Is it too much for you? I mean, I'm an honest question. Okay,
it's just new, right?
Kind of, because I want to know, the Ravens, they're due to win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And with this new coach, I'm just wondering if he can actually do it, unlike Harbaugh.
I think he can. And remember, Mike McDonald was here. Do you remember when Mike McDonald was here, Samuel?
Oh, yes, sir.
So,
Great coach.
So Mike McDonald went to Seattle, and in 2 years, he won a Super Bowl. Mike McDonald and Jesse Minter worked together. Jesse Minter and Mike McDonald philosophically do a lot of the same things. Jesse Minter took a Chargers defense that wasn't that great and put them in a top 3, top 5 defense relatively quickly. His dad, his background, his father was a lifelong coach, so he grew up, in that environment. He was a coordinator at University of Michigan when they won the national championship. He worked under John and he worked under Jim, and he was a position coach here. I think the Ravens organization, and as a former player and as a person who loves this organization, I think we got one of the best coaches we could that was on the market. I think you should be really excited, Samuel, and I don't think you should worry at all. I think we're about to do some work, and you're about to see some real good stuff happen. So I got your back.
Thank you so
He
much.
got your back. Yeah, don't even worry about it. I promise you it's going to be good. It's going to be great.
All right, Samuel, good to hear from
Thank
you,
you
man.
so much.
All right, Samuel, have a good one, man.
Hey, before we go to our second call, we got breaking news. We just had a caller mention the Wizards, right?
Yep.
Well, the Wizards just made a move. They've made a trade with the Lakers. They're going to pick up center DeAndre Ayton from the Lakers in exchange for Jaden Hardy and 2 second-round picks in 31 and 32. So there you go. DeAndre Ayton, going to the Wizards. Gives them a little bit of inside presence, but that's, you're not going to get anybody much better than that, that's for sure. I know.
I appreciate you sharing, though.
Well, the Wizards, it's just frustrating.
I just love that last caller, Samuel. I want more 13-year-olds to call. Look at that kid. I like. He was honest. He was vulnerable. He loved Coach Harbaugh, but understood that he didn't get it done.
Yeah.
But you know what? Why can't more adults be like that? I feel like adults let me down all the time. And then I meet kids that are just being humble and they're just speaking their mind, and there's
kids know what they don't know. Adults don't always know what they don't know,
Yeah.
as you grow older.
This is the thing. First of all, he called me sir, which I appreciated. Second, he understood what the problem was, but he also appreciated the success that John had.
Yeah.
There are adults that can't do that right now. They can't say John did a great job while he was here. Was it enough? No. In the Lamar era, we would probably should have had another Super Bowl, but we were good. We were really good. John Harbaugh is going to probably be in the Hall of Fame, and he did that as a Raven.
I'm interested to see what he's going to do in New York. He's got some material up there.
Yeah, look, if Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo can learn to not be dummies.
Well, Jackson did something again this week.
Did he really?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
Oh my God. Okay, look it up. Let me. I'll riff for a minute here.
Yeah.
If they can learn to get out of bounds when they're supposed to and not put themselves in harm's way to be macho and tough. Look, you don't survive this game playing quarterback and running back by running into things or letting yourself get hit because you think it looks good or it's cool. It's not cool. It's dumb. You want to play as long as you possibly can. And that means using your brain and not putting it at risk to make some macho like point about how tough you are. Getting tough ends you up in the blue tent, and both of you were in the blue tent way too many times because you're doing dumb stuff. And you're not just doing dumb stuff on the field, you're doing dumb stuff off the field too. And what I mean by that is Cam Scatterbo is talking about CTE as a conspiracy theory. It's not real. Well, let me tell you a secret.
Please.
I went to UCSF this week, and I exposed myself to a brain scan, a MRI. I did a bunch of cognitive tests. I opted into a study voluntarily. I'm good, guys, by the way. I didn't do it because anything's wrong. I did it because I want to be part of a cohort of former players that are looking for answers from players like Junior Seau that I played with who committed suicide. Other players that are no longer alive due to head injuries. Cam, don't do dumb stuff. Don't say dumb stuff. And when it comes to Jackson, you already know what I don't even need to talk about it. When you represent the New York Giants and you represent one of the most lauded and most popular franchises on the planet, you have to consider your teammates in every single thing that you do. And what was dumb is not considering your teammates. I have nothing else to say about it other than that, because what you do shines or doesn't shine on them. And you know what I mean by that, Bruce.
I do. 410-583-1057. Jonathan in Essex, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
Hey.
I've been listening to you guys. I said, man, I was going to call. And I said, no, I'm not going to call. I said, because I don't feel like calling and being all smoozy and kissing up to each other. But then Bruce gave me a reason to fight a little bit.
All right.
Femi, you always say a little something. And the reason why that kid, you said the kid, I got a 14-year-old myself. But you know what? 1 + 2 to them is 3. Not with adults, because with algebra kicks in. 1 + y = 3. Y could be anything. And
that's a good point.
You lose that light because of y. Remember that. Algebra is different. There's a lot of different ways to get to that number, and adults know too many reasons why we get to that number. But I love refreshing. I love for my son to call. I try to get him to call, and it is refreshing to see young guys get into it and call. Because when I was 14, I did. I used to call the radio station. I remember they used to argue about what was worse, how much Eddie Murray was getting beat down, or how bad Mike Schmidt in Philly was getting beat down.
Yeah.
That's what our debate was.
Wow.
But other than that, what I was calling about was just the Lamar Jackson deal. And I just hear everybody saying, I want to know, maybe Femi, because he says a lot of things that me and him are on the same page when it comes to Lamar. I just get tired of it that I watch over and over again, and they are just so everybody. If Joe Burrow does this, if they got their defense, they're going to be right. There's nothing negative that says, and I don't want anything negative. But guess what? With Lamar, our defense is going to be better. But the offense, can the offense do this? Can Lamar do this? Can Lamar do that? Can Lamar stay healthy? What has the guy got to do to prove that he can stay healthy? He got hurt last year. And the big thing I wanted to say about Bruce was the Orioles and Ravens. Stop putting them in the same category. They're not the same. They had the same expectations, but Lamar got hurt.
Yeah.
Who we saying? Is Westbrook out Lamar? Because
I wasn't talking specifics about that. All I was saying was, the Orioles crushed me last summer, and then the Ravens continued the crush, and that's why I'm not feeling overconfident.
It was just in a small sample size.
Bruce, you know how I feel about you anyway.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? So that's all I wanted to say. But I listen to you guys, and I said I got to say something to them. But happy 4th of July, gentlemen. Keep it going.
Have your son call in.
Yeah, we'd love to talk to him. He brings up Lamar with some frustration in his voice.
We're all frustrated with how everyone gets treated externally.
Yeah, the one point I keep trying to make, and I think I talked about this last week. I probably said it to you too. is he was here for the beginning of the spring, and he stayed. You know, he was where he was supposed to be. Let's be honest. The first thing a new coach has got to do is make nice with the superstar.
Yeah.
You know, and Lamar did his part. Lamar showed he didn't act like he did last year. He knew the optics of this were going to be important. You know, and by the same token, the new offensive line coach. First thing he's got to do is make sure that his superstar in that offensive line room is on the same page with him, right?
Yeah. So, just for historical context, when G-Ro came in that offseason, guess who was here? Lamar was here.
Yeah.
When Coach Monken came in, guess who was here? Lamar was here.
He was here.
Okay. Now that Coach Minter is here and Declan's here, guess what? Lamar was here.
Mm-hmm.
It is not atypical for quarterbacks to not be around when they know the system. They come in, they come out. What Lamar did is typical of what NFL players and quarterbacks do. But for some reason, Lamar gets analyzed and viewed through a different lens. The expectations are the expectations are appropriate and they haven't been met in regard to the Super Bowl. I'm not disagreeing with that. The playoff play, I agree. But in regard to what Lamar does and what his counterparts do, he does what they all do. But for some reason, when he does it, it's viewed more negatively. The other thing I'll say is this. Jonathan made a point about addition and algebra. The problem is that, and you already said it, Bruce, a lot of kids don't know algebra yet.
Right.
And substitute algebra for trigonometry or calculus. It doesn't matter. As they get older, they don't know it yet. All they know is addition. The problem with adults is they want to use calculus when all that's required is addition. That's the problem, Jonathan. Yes, you got away, but I'm not done with you yet. Okay? So I do not give any adults grace because of what they know. Okay? Adults let me down constantly. It's because they get in their own damn way. And it's their own damn fault. Okay? Children, right? I understand that they don't know what they don't know. But you can watch adults at every level do things that they know they shouldn't be doing, saying things they know they shouldn't be saying, and lying to your face as if it's the truth. And they choose to do that. They get no pass. They get no freedom. They get no quarter. They get nothing. I guess why I'm here. And Bruce, you know this. I pride myself on being able to apologize, calling balls and strikes as best as I possibly can, and holding people accountable. And I hold myself accountable.
And I'm not blowing smoke. You're one of the best, and this goes back to when you still played. You're one of the best athlete communicators I ever ran across. And I did this a long time.
Yeah, but Uncle Bruce, the problem that I have is when people feed me BS about why people do certain things, I do not give a damn. It's your fault. And this is the thing. We've all been through some trauma. We've all lost something. We've all been mistreated. It's not an excuse. That's what life is. Life is suffering. Life is more suffering than happiness. Get used to it and find some type of embrace it somehow. We talked about this earlier, didn't we?
Yep.
And you can't control tragedy. You can't control when it happens, but you can't let it, dissuade you from being honest and trying to do things the right way. To human is to err. I understand that. I get it. I really do. But don't tell me that it's okay and don't give me excuses as to why. I don't want to hear that.
And the other thing about optimism, I want to make sure everybody understands me here. We just got crushed twice last year.
Yeah.
And I know what that feels like, and I'm going to be a little bit more hesitant as I go into this. I'm satisfied with what the Ravens did on defense. I think they're going to be representative, if not great, on defense, if they stay healthy. We still don't know about Matabike, and I kind of felt like when Campbell was signed, that may have been in reaction to something they heard about Matabike.
I don't think so.
We don't know.
You talked about that with me already. I think they're mutually exclusive. I don't think one has anything to do with the other.
Well, we'll know on the 27th if he's here.
But just because he's not ready on the 27th doesn't mean that Calais had something to do with it either. You know what I mean? Like the bottom line is that
training camp roster comes out on the 27th. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I think the point I'm making is that I never thought he'd be ready for the season when it started anyway.
Right,
and I don't think that they thought that. I think he's more of like an October guy. That's what I think.
Okay.
If he's ready before that, that'll be awesome. But Bruce, this is going to happen, and it sucks. It's going to happen though. Guys are going to get hurt
always,
and they're going to bring guys in.
Yep.
And it's going to happen on both sides of the ball. I just hope it's less than usual. We had we went through, and maybe the football gods and the art, and how we separate the art from the science, right? The art side of this, maybe we'll have a little grace for us this year. Ravens went through a lot of injuries last year.
Well,
you know what I mean?
The schedule stacks up correctly.
Yeah. They blessed us with that.
They really got a good schedule here.
Yeah, they do.
No West Coast trips, no nothing. It's going to be tough at the end of the season because you've got all those AFC North games to finish the season. But if things go well, maybe those games aren't going to matter as much as they do.
I think we can. This is the part that where I'll say this. and I always say optimism is free, right? And I get it. It's one thing to be cautious about something. It's another to be a pessimist because it didn't go your way.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think what you're saying is you're being cautious.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think for me, I'm optimistic when I should be optimistic. And yes. So let me own it. You guys already know I'm an optimist by trade. That's just what I am. But I also will give the critique, and I will say, hey, I don't feel so good about this particular thing, but let me tell you why it could work, and I can also tell you why it might not. I see both sides.
I was optimistic that we would get invited to Taylor and the wedding tonight, but neither one of us got our invitation.
That's one thing I wasn't optimistic about, Bruce.
Stick around, everybody. One more segment to go. We'll go back to the phone. Stick around.
Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. Inside Access. Live on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Search Baltimore 105.7 The Fan. Subscribe for daily shorts right to your phone and never miss what you missed. 105.7 The Fan.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Treat yourself this summer and taste the Baltimore tradition that is the legendary Costas Inn. For over 55 years, the Costas Inn's been a Baltimore original, dishing out their legendary Fat Delicious award-winning crab cakes at both locations. That's at North Point and in Timonium. It's summer in Baltimore, so enjoy some hot steamed crabs for carryout or in the comfort of their dining room. Either way, Costas has steamed crabs available daily at their original location on North Point Boulevard. So make sure you check out both locations, but stop in when you do. Make sure you tell them that Jeremy Kahn sent you.
Hatch your plan for smoother travel across the bay at baybridge.com. Get real-time traffic updates and live cameras all in one spot. And always remember, never drive distracted and never tailgate.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
The U.S. Treasury quietly released its official financial report for 2025. It appears by its own numbers, the U.S. government seems insolvent. It's reported that the Treasury shows about $6 trillion in assets and over $47 trillion in liabilities. Add it all up, and it looks like the U.S. owes more than $130 trillion it doesn't have. If that were a family, they'd earn $52,000 a year, spend $73,000, and already be more than $1 million underwater. Any accountant would call that insolvent. So how does the government fix this? It can print money, which erodes your purchasing power, it can raise taxes, or it can cut benefits. And none of those can help to protect you. That's why many people who have something to lose move part of their savings into physical gold and silver, assets that can't be printed, defaulted on, or voted away. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide and a no-pressure conversation. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayan Badejo.
Bruce and Femi, final segment. When we roll out of here, Mike Popovic steps in, so make sure you stay with him for the rest of the afternoon. Always good sports talk with Mike in the afternoons for sure. 410-583-1057. Kevin in Randallstown, what's on your mind, man?
I'm sitting here all week long thinking the show's going to be on Friday. Don't forget, the show's going to be on Friday. Don't forget.
And you forgot.
What did I do today? Forgot.
Put too much pressure on yourself, brother.
2:30 comes around, and I remember, oh crap! But I wanted to say first, Bruce, happy birthday.
Thank you.
What, you 66 today?
I wish. I'm 68.
You tied me.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
Tell you what,
Wonderful.
if you're like me, 70's getting awful close, you know? I never viewed myself as being 70.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, it's good. A lot of people wish they had made it to 68.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
Well, I just wanted to say I didn't have a whole lot to say this week. Not too much. The Orioles are doing their predictable win 3, lose 4, win 2, lose 3. But
one step up and 2 steps back.
Yeah, exactly. But I just wanted to say, if there's any nice rich men out there today, maybe there's a billionaire or two that's listening, and they're not over there in D.C., I hope you could consider getting Baltimore a WNBA team. I'm so enjoying it, even though I'm not enjoying the craziness between Angel and Caitlin.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing that they're doing. It's just these knucklehead fans. But I don't think Baltimore would affect.
I tell you the truth, Kevin. I think the WNBA makes more sense here than in NBA or NHL. I do.
Yeah.
I think what the best move to do is try to get the Mystics to move here. I don't know that a WNBA would put an expansion team that close to them.
But Bruce, I don't think Baltimore with that would affect their attendance. If we had a team and they had a team, I don't think it would affect them.
Probably not, but let me tell you, it's not attendance that I'm talking about. It's marketing. The Mystics could rightfully claim that they're cutting into our market here. There are advertisers we might be getting might be working. You see what I'm saying? It's things like that as opposed to ticket sales. But and I understand their feeling on that. I do. But I would like to see a WNBA team here too. I would, and get Angel Reese to be the centerpiece and watch how many tickets you sell.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so much, and like I said, it's just the crazies on both sides. It just
growing pains, Kevin. Growing pains. Yeah. They've made. Let's be honest here. Look, just in the last 3-4 years alone. Now, a lot of this is driven by Caitlin Clark, but look how much more in the spotlight they are than they were just a couple of years ago.
Oh, it's no doubt, man.
Yeah.
There's no doubt, and there's no doubt. Even though they're crazy, there's no doubt that it's Caitlin that's the cause of this. I mean, she's causing me going to it.
Yep.
Like Tiger Woods was for me going to golf. I had no idea what a par was, or eagle, or a birdie.
Yeah.
But when I got interested in it because of Tiger, now I can watch it. I watch it sometimes without. Well, of course now I do, but I mean, when he was going, I could watch it without Tiger being in it.
Yeah.
And I don't need Caitlin anymore. I know a lot of the stars of just pretty much every team now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the other thing about that, here in our area, Brenda Fries is responsible for that too. I mean, because of her, people got interested in women's basketball around here. Let's be honest. She helped.
Yeah, because that's where it started with. Well, not just with Brenda too, but watching the women's March Madness.
Yeah.
Is how I got hooked on to Caitlin and Angel, LSU against South Carolina, that's how it became for me.
Works.
So, yeah.
All right, Kevin, good to hear from you, man.
Enjoy the cake, my friend.
Thank you. No cake. I've lost 50 pounds. I'm not eating cake.
You could have a slice. Come on.
Yeah, but then I'd have to look at myself in the mirror.
Okay, that's fair enough.
No,
it's not worth it.
It's like I tell my wife, if you're trying to lose weight and you cheat, you guess who you're cheating?
Yeah,
you're cheating you. I don't need to be cheating. Let's get Mike in Columbia. Mike, I got very little time. What's on your mind?
Okay, happy 68. Keep chugging along.
That's the plan.
The NBA draft. OKC Spurs. They did good. Sixers, great move picking up Brown.
Oh, yeah. I tell you who else did well in the draft. Memphis.
Oh, yeah. You know what I'm thinking now? Is the Joker going to sign with Denver, or is he going to jump ship and go play with his man Luka?
Ooh, good question.
What do you think? What do you think?
I can't see him leaving Denver personally.
No, but it's the NBA. We talked about this earlier.
Yeah, it's not the NFL. I get it. But,
man.
But I mean, like to have Jokic and Luka together in LA, that would be wild.
That would.
You know what I mean? But Luka doesn't play any defense, though. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, and look, Jokic is amazing. I mean, he's one of the best players in the NBA for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I got to chew on that one a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we're out of time to be chewing. That's for sure. Right? You won't be here next week.
No, I will not be here next week. Right, I'll be at a wedding in Tahoe.
We'll see. Ooh, that's nice.
It's going to be fun, yeah. I was just in Northern California, come back, and I'm going back.
You know who lives in Tahoe? Brady Anderson.
Oh, does he really?
He got 3 acres right along the lake.
Yeah.
Back when he was making big money, and it's worth a whole lot of money.
No, definitely. I mean, Tahoe is beautiful.
You might bump into him. You just might. Yeah. All right, we're out of here. Femi will be back in 2 weeks. I'll be back next week, and we'll do more of the same. Thanks very much for being with us. And our guest, Chris Redmond. It was great talking with him. And Rich Dubroff, BaltimoreBaseball.com. Orioles and Reds tonight, 7:05. Keep your fingers crossed, All right, until next week, and in Femi's case for 2 weeks, Baltimore, I love you madly, and ain't nothing you can do about it. I'm Bruce. We'll talk next week. Until then, see ya.